going straight into it. We're going straight into it today. Shocky, shocky. Ooh. What was that shit? Oh, it's the Lyrium dragon. Oh, everybody's down? Oh my god, bro. Where is everybody? Hawks up. Victorian. Res. You can do that stupid ass res. Yep. I really need to change that upgrade. Generation potion. Generation potion. Rock armor. Oh man, that warden died. Oh, I'm down? Oh, bro. This is ugly. This is no bueno. Oh, bro. If I could just take... Oh, my God, bro. If I could just take one potion, for Christ's sake. Oh, how's it going? It's, oh man, well apparently it's not OB. Well, because that's the first time I've died. Fuck! That's the first time I've died. Oh, not a great start. Thanks for popping in though. Oh, hold on. Let's just collect ourselves here, shall we? Why is my stream manager not coming up? Come on now. Please don't do the thing that you did the other day. That was so stupid. Only captured like 10 minutes of each time that I went streaming. Okay, so let's check. How's it going? Hope you... Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the Night Enchanter. Night Enchanter with lightning. Gotta get the shocky, right? Dorian. Wall. He's doing the Horn of Valor. That's good. It's gonna give us all armor. What? Where's the exploding shot? I think that's the explosive shot. Right there, on that thing. Go. Okay. Put the barrier. Fire mine right there. What are you doing, Blackwall? What's Blackwall doing right now? Okay, Black Wall. What do you do? Why can you not? Why can I not? Oh. Oh, I see. You're already doing something. Okay. Yeah. Alright, now let's take assuming direct control. Hey, thank you, Playful. Thank you, Playful, for the tab. Face it. Nice, okay, okay. We took out with that first shade. Leave me alone. Help, open. Regeneration potion, you're right in the middle of things. Necessity on each hit, you gain barrier armor. With the spectral sword? I know I gain armor. Oh, you're right, it is with each hit. I guess I hadn't really paid attention that much to that aspect. I knew I would get armor, I just couldn't put it together that that was what was causing me to get armor. Thanks for the assist on that one. This is a tough ride game too, he's really I'm used to the easy ones that come out of the Veil Rifts. Grab this loot because I don't think you can't do a disrupt on this one. So how do you here's something I am curious about though. How do you tell what the charge is on the Spectral Blade? I know it's supposed to charge up, right? And then you get like a bonus damage on the first hit. Potion. See if I can get some heals off. Somebody's down. Dorian. Oh, sheesh. Get off me. Get off me. You psycho. Do the mind blast. Ah! Oh my god, not with the armor. Dorian up. Come on, Hawk, you're way better than just basic attack. Hawk should be OP. Barrier. Oh, Stroud's down. Stroud must be down. He's like kneeling. Nice. We got him. Busted through like a badass. We go, like up here somewhere. Hold on. Gotta loot. Hey, Danny D. Good morning. I'm doing alright, how about you? Feeling good, just died for my first time ever this playthrough. So, got that going for me. Which is nice. Yeah, so you're talking about the Sword of Tadarian. Get out of my way, Dorian, Jesus. Onderana Tishan, Ziga. What up? Doing adamant today. If I can, like, freaking get my life together. Yeah, you know, okay. Because what? That sword will, like, work together with it and build the charge even, or the damage doesn't drop off or something. Because I looked at the Sword of Tadarian, and the highest that I can get it is, like, 91 damage. I'm like, that's stupid when I've got staffs that can get up in the 200s, right? Maybe I'm just not understanding the DPS stats of the game. Can you get out of my way, Dorian? Jesus Christ. Whoa. Yeah, dude, that would be so dope. Yeah. I might need to see that, honestly, because I think that's something that I've always kind of struggled with in terms of like really any RPG is like the crunchy aspects of it. I'm not really that much of a cruncher. But, that being said, there's Chlorel. That being said, if I can make the build better, I'd like to.
You've destroyed the Grey Wardens.
You did that to yourself, you stupid bitch. All I did was dangle a little power before your eyes, and you couldn't wait to get your hands bloody. You could have served a new god.
I will never serve the Blight.
Ooh. Some monstro. Om nom nom. Look at that. Into the abyss. Do not be afraid to leave. So it's from the Old Hawk, right? Dragon Age 2, very beginning of Dragon Age 2. Ziga, yeah, Ziga X Demonics. Gotta remember that. I was trying to give you a follow, Ziga, and I just kind of forgot how your name was spelled, and I couldn't find you. I was struggling, but I will definitely. I'm just gonna take a screenshot.
Where are we?
Right there. Okay, now I will remember.
We were falling. If this is the afterlife, the Chantry owes me an apology. This looks nothing like the Maker's bosom.
No. The Inquisitor used the mark to open another rift. We fell through. I believe we're in the Fade.
The Fade looked much different the last time I was here.
The first time I entered the Fade, it looked like a lovely castle filled with gold and silks. I met a marvelous desire demon, as I recall. We chatted and ate grapes before he attempted to possess me. Perhaps the difference is that we are here physically. This is no one's dream.
The stories say you walked out of the Fade at Haven. Was it like this?
I don't know. I still can't remember what happened the last time I did this.
Well, whatever happened at Haven, we can't assume we're safe now. That huge demon was right on the other side of that rift Eramond was using. And there could be others.
In our world, the rift the demons came through was nearby, in the main hall. Can we escape the same way?
Let's find out. There. Let's go.
Oh yeah. I already have the schematic. I already have the Blade of Tadarian and the schematic for the Blade of Tadarian, so I already have that. I've just never used it because.
Really what it's like when you dream. How do you people ever sleep? Remember last time we ended up in the Fade, Hawk?
Oh, how could I forget? My closest friends showed such loyalty in the face of a demon's temptations.
Well, we got better. Sort of.
Wow, what a deep cut for them to make a dialogue for. Anyways. Probably best putting elemental effects on it. Right. Yeah, I just never used the Blade of Tadarian because I just saw that damage. Like the max damage that you can get with the Blade of Tadarian. And I was like, this is ridiculous. There's no way that I'm ever going to use this. I didn't realize that it had more mechanical weight. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really... I've never been that fantastic at crunching and like build symmetry. I just kind of make big number go up and hope that that's good enough, which with Dragon Age it is. That's one reason why I don't really play Elden Ring. I love Elden Ring. I love Dragon Age or Demon Souls and Dark Souls lore and everything like that. Huge fan of the series and the art of it all.
Better take a closer look.
But whoa.
Must be something here. Let's look around.
Excuse me. But I'm not good at those games because I'm not good at I'm not good at crunching. I don't have a mind for how different pieces of gear, even if it's weak, still plays into a build better than gear that's like got bigger numbers. I can be like that sometimes. Plead to the warrior, something like that. Ready to help at the conclave. I prayed to the Maker for peace, but the mountains shook and fell and buried me. Alone in the darkness, my legs crushed. I cried in fear of a world with no Maker, fading in and out of dreams of monsters inside the black. Light my final hours. Let me go to the Maker without the terrors of darkness confounding me. If you're stacking astral, your damage will go up exponentially. If I boot up the disco tree in this place, you want to solve all the puzzles. Yeah. Yeah, I beat the game. Yeah, I beat the game. I've beat this game multiple times. All the way through. Like, probably at least 10 times. It might be more. And I've done pretty much everything that there is to do. 100% complete. Of course, there's always things that I could have missed as well, but I am aware of the puzzles here in the Fade. Ooh, look at that! Armor from the Descent DLC is top 2 for the Night Enchanter. Yeah, the other dwarf's armor, right? The one with lyrium all in it. Sorry, Snickers. I know. Let me lift up the blinds for you. Go on. You can lay in the window now. Wow, see, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. Of all the things, like I said, I've beat this game so many times, but you're telling me things that I just had no idea. I had no idea that they synergized so much. Whenever I was playing this game before... Whenever I was playing this game... Thanks, Shadow! Whenever I was playing this game before, I was a lot younger, and I had a lot less patience for games, and even though now I still have kind of more patience for games than I would, there's nothing at this table, right? I don't think that there's anything at this table. Yeah, I think it's just there for aesthetics. Anyways, even though I have a lot more patience for games now than I did then, I'm still not, I still don't really have, oh yeah, here we go. The mind for crunchiness is what I'm getting at. Build synergism and stuff like that.
By the Maker. Could that be?
I greet you, Warden. And you, Champion.
Divine Justinia.
Oh man, I wish I had Cassandra here.
Back at Haven, I thought I saw... How can you be here?
She's not. I fear we face a spirit. Or a demon.
You think my survival impossible, yet here you stand alive in the Fade yourselves. In truth, proving my existence either way would require time we do not have.
Really? How hard is it to answer one question? I'm a human, and you are...
I am here to help you. You do not remember what happened.
Oh, I wish I had Cole here, too.
Inquisitor.
There's so many... yeah, that's the replayability of Dragon Age, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different combinations of ways that they can play out, different combinations of characters that you can have for different moments, and they'll all have their own things to say. Like, I like having Varric here because Hawk, but I wish that I had, like, Cole or Cassandra here, because they would have interesting things to say, too. The Ring of Slicing, yeah, I might look into that one. The Ring of Doubt I have on Solus right now. You do not remember what happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, Inquisitor.
The real Divine would have no way of knowing that I'd been made Inquisitor.
I know, because I have examined memories like yours, stolen by the demon that serves Corypheus. It is the nightmare you forget upon waking. It feeds off memories of fear and darkness, growing fat upon the terror. The false calling that terrified the wardens into making such grave mistakes? It's work.
I would gladly avenge the insult this nightmare dealt my brethren.
You will have your chance, brave warden. This place of darkness is its lair.
Corypheus seems to have a lot of demons at his disposal.
Meow.
How does he command so many?
I know not how he commands his army of demons. His power may come from the Blight itself, but the nightmare serves willingly. For Corypheus has brought much terror to this world. He was one of the Magisters who unleashed the first Blight upon the world, was he not? Every child's cry as the
I'll see your
Archdemon
comment. I'll
circles.
get to it after the dialogue's over.
Every dwarf's whimper in the deep roads. The nightmare has fed well.
Every child's cry as the archdemon circles. Every dwarf's whimper. That doesn't make sense. Because dwarves can't dream. Unless... unless there's weird shit going on with the dwarves, which of course there is, and we figure that out in the Descent DLC. And it seems like they're going to be expanding on that in the Veilguard. What choice am I going to make? I'll let you figure it out. We'll see when we get there. We might talk about it once the choice has been made. The nightmare is fed well.
How do we hurt it?
That's a little optimistic, isn't it?
You hurt it by escaping the Fade and leading your people against Corypheus.
That wasn't what I meant.
I know. But for now, it is the best answer I can give you. When you entered the Fade at Heaven, the demon took a part of you. Before you do anything else, you must recover it. These are your memories, Inquisitor.
Solid, Zigga. Solid. Yeah, I remember you said you just got to Redcliffe yesterday, so that's a pretty good grind there. Almost done with the hinterlands by now. I think the hinterlands are over-exaggerated in how long they are. I mean, they're long for sure.
Run when you can! Want them!
Bring forth the sacrifice.
Look at the trilobites. Little shells. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, Ex-Demonics. So, that's so funny because... That's so funny because the dragon is the last thing that I do. Every time with the hinterlands. I can't get past because... I think it's like the hardest, one of the harder dragons, because it summons the dragonlings, and that, like, I always make it to that part, and then everybody dies.
Keep the sacrifice still.
Someone help me!
What a loser. Like, what a fuck, what an incel, this guy. And then you opened a rift.
So, your mark did not come from Andraste. It came from the orb Corypheus used in his ritual.
Corypheus intended to rip open the veil, use the anchor to enter the Fade, and throw open the doors of the Black City. Not for the old gods, but for himself. When you disrupted his plan, the orb bestowed the anchor upon you instead.
Oh man, I really hope that stream manager wasn't causing an echo there. Sorry if it was. God, I always forget to do that. Mute my phone audio. Hopefully it was muted. Yeah, Solus definitely got that build with Solus with the healing and the barrier for sure. Usually I take Cassandra and Iron Bull, but Blackwall has gotten a lot better since I got him Horn of Valor, which of course gives everybody guard once you get the upgrade for it. So might try taking Blackwall instead of Iron Bull. And the Forbidden Oasis? Wow. I usually just try to do the Hinterlands, Fallowmire, and Stormcoast before I do In Hushed Whispers. I actually didn't do In Hushed Whispers, though, this time. I sided with the Templars, Call Me a Monster. But it seemed like the best choice at the time, especially with the way that I'm role-playing my Inquisitor. She's not Vivian, if you know what I mean. Like, she's not Vivian, but she's not like Solus either. You know what I mean? Like she's not like Hawk either. She's kind of somewhere in the middle with regards to, like, she still believes that the circles can work. She just thinks that the systems behind the circles, like the chantry, the oppression, all of that stuff, that's the problem. Not necessarily having a safe place to study magic and having the Templars there to make sure it stays safe. So she's kind of like very middle of the road mage. Not quite a full-on libertarian, but not quite I'm not really sure what the Enchanter College is for the most conservative one, but she's not Vivienne, you know. Very much not Vivienne. When you disrupted his plan, the orb bestowed the anchor upon you instead. Huge health pools. If you get them both, stacking armor should be okay. Yeah, I'll definitely... I haven't done a hell of a lot of crafting in this playthrough yet, just because I'm trying to, like, keep things clipping along. I'm trying to be done with Inquisition by the time... all of Inquisition, including the DLC, by the time Veilguard comes out. So... and I have before spent, like, whole days, you know, crafting, you know, perfect sets of armor and stuff like that. So, in previous playthroughs that I didn't stream on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until the last mission and try as hard as I can to get all of the crafting schematics and all of the best materials that I can get my hands on, and then just do a full-on kit build for everybody in the party and, like, really get crunchy with it. Maybe off stream, just because of course that might just be boring to watch. Maybe just do a bonus stream.
So this was what? An accident? A random ricochet in the middle of a fight?
I'm gathering that. This is the first time I've ever streamed it.
Neither the Maker nor Andraste were in any way involved in this. I'm just...
If you believe in the Maker, then you believe he made this world, and everything in it, including your accident. And if you do not, then nothing has changed. You cannot escape the lair of the nightmare until you regain all that it took from you. You have recovered some of yourself, but now it knows you are here. You must make haste. I will prepare the way ahead.
Something troubles you, Hawk.
I wondered if you might be concerned about the Grey Wardens holding the Divine in that vision. Their actions led to her death.
I assumed he had taken their minds, as you have seen him do before. Come, we can argue after we escape this dark place.
Oh, I intend to.
I've never met the Divine. You think that was really her?
Why, I have no idea. If it's a spirit, it's not acting like one. No demon would have been so helpful without asking something in return.
And the nightmare? From what she said, I don't look forward to meeting it.
Sounds like it preys on fear. Stealing people's memories, that's low, even for a demon. Memories make us what we are. A monster that takes them away. I don't want to think about that.
After what it did to my fellow Wardens, I pray we find some way to strike it down.
Yeah, we've actually been pretty good about the War Table missions. This stream was a little unusual because I left it on a cliffhanger, but typically at the beginning of every stream we do dialogue and we do War Table missions before we even start Backstory. Cassandra is definitely one of my mains. Cassandra and Solus really are probably the two ones that I like to bring along the most. I really like Varric, but I just can't seem to... I've never been able... Maybe you can help me with this, Demonix, but because you seem to understand it a little better than I do. But I've never been able to keep Bianca up with the damage curve, the power curve. I try to keep Bianca upgraded as much as possible with the components, but I've just never been able to actually
we
get...
have a visitor. Some silly little girl comes to steal the fear I kindly lifted from her shoulders. You should have thanked me and left your fear where it lay, forgotten. You think the pain will make you stronger? What fool filled your mind with such drivel? The only one who grows stronger from your fears is me. But you are a guest here in my home, so by all means let me return what you have forgotten.
You just said swap Bianca. Just get rid of it. Oh man, I don't know if I can do that. Even for the meta, I don't know if I can do that. Bianca's so iconic for Barret. What am I doing? Cat knocked something over and I was trying to fix it while holding R2 and started shooting in the wrong direction. Puko, he the buddy. Yeah, Sarah's pretty good. Sarah's pretty good. Like, Sarah's definitely, if I was to choose between Sarah and Cole, it's definitely going to be Sarah almost every time, unless there's a lore reason to bring Cole.
These foes are likely but servants of the true demon.
Pity.
Look at that thing. Gnarly. That's metal. Yeah, he kind of just sucks. Like, he's so interesting. He's so interesting to talk to, and I love his character so much. But he just goes down too fast. The dual wielding is very unsuited for companion characters. Like, I know that you can make it work. I know that you can make it work as as the Inquisitor with the dual wielding rogue, but with a companion character, it's too intensive of a play style to leave to the AI to handle, because the AI is just not good enough for that, at least not in this game. It's pretty good though. Oh my god, like, you guys don't even, like, if anybody what? Oh look, it's up there. Unreliable mainly because of how the AI works. Indeed, yeah, exactly, yeah. You're so right. You're so right, Demonix. But if you think the AI is bad in this game, don't never go back and try to play Baldur's Gate or Icewind Dale. I just got done with a playthrough of Icewind Dale, my first playthrough ever of Icewind Dale. Before I started Dragon Age Inquisition, and my god, like, it's infuriating. It's genuinely infuriating how utterly stupid the AI is.
I'm guessing those aren't friendly either.
Basically, entire schools of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, not Baldur's Gate 3. The ones made by BioWare. Well, actually, I think Baldur's Gate 2 and Icewind Dale were made by Obsidian, but I digress. That's beside the point. The first Baldur's Gate was made by BioWare. Well, but was it BioWare at the time, though? What's
that?
I know that Baldur's Gate 1 was made by BioWare. I know that much. It was made by the same team that made Dragon Age. Whoa, that guy just exploded. Yeah. It's got a history before it kind of became the BioWare that we know for sure. And then, of course, the history goes on in its wild way to where BioWare is now, which is, like, completely different than the team that made Dragon Age Origins, the Mass Effect games. Yeah. It is funky. But yeah, the Icewind Dale, oh my god, I struggled a lot.
Perhaps I should be afraid, facing the most powerful members of the Inquisition. Like Blackwall, there's nothing like a Grey Warden, and you are nothing like a Grey Warden.
I'll show you a Warden's strength, beast.
But yeah, oh man, playing through Icewind Dale was a struggle. Playing through Icewind Dale was a deep, deep struggle. Entire schools of magic are rendered useless by the fact that the AI is so completely inept. Pretty much anything that does AoE damage, all forms of AoE damage, all forms of like, for instance, like Scorching Ray, completely useless. Completely useless. No reason to have them, because the AI is just going to walk into it every time. Sleep, any sort of sleep spell, Sinking Cloud, anything like that. The AI is just going to walk straight into your spell and get affected by it. Yeah, Mass Effect, after I finish Dragon Age the Veilguard, Mass Effect is going to be the next series that I play through, and I'm going to do a whole series playthrough on Mass Effect on stream, because I am Mass Effect
Greetings, Dorian.
lover.
It is Dorian, isn't it? For a moment I mistook you for your father.
Rather uncalled for.
Rather uncalled for. Oh, love Dorian. Yeah, Mass Effect. Mass Effect Andromeda. Very controversial, but I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater of it. I like Mass Effect Andromeda. I know that it came out buggy and stuff like that, but if you play it now, it's less buggy. I am more interested in the story of Ryder than most people, though. I think that Ryder is an interesting character in contrast to Shepard, as Shepard is like a super space marine warrior, like freaking the archetype of the military sci-fi protagonist, whereas Ryder is a little bit more relatable and down to earth and kind of just like a normal soldier that gets thrust into the position of Pathfinder and kind of rises to the occasion, which I think is of course that's a story that's been told before, but it's a good one. It's a good story, and I think that personally, I don't think that this is going to happen, but personally, I would like Ryder to be the protagonist of the next Mass Effect game. Even if that game is happening in the Milky Way, which I think it's going to. I personally am also probably in the minority when I say this, but I think that Shepard should definitely not be the protagonist of the next Mass Effect game. Shepard's story has been told. It is done. It is over. Whatever happens, even if they make a new protagonist, ends up looking orange. You got the Trump Pathfinder. It's the greatest Pathfinder. It's possibly the greatest Pathfinder ever.
Once again, Hawk is in danger because of you, Varric. You found the Red Lyrium. You brought Hawk here.
Just keep talking, Smiley.
What? Okay, what's the deal with this investigate journal thing? I don't know why it's still giving me the option to investigate it. Oh my god. I seriously hope that it's not time travel. Time travel is the single stupidest narrative plot device in existence, in fiction, ever. Period. Done. I hate it. I hate it all. No time travel.
Couldn't even save your city. How could you expect to strike down a god? Isabella is going to die, just like your family and everyone you ever cared about.
Well, that's going to grow tiresome.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much simpler than that.
Scavenging whatever the nightmare leaves behind.
And of course, they look like giant spiders.
Spiders? That is not what I saw.
The demons look different to each of us. Personalized little terrors.
Wonderful.
Yeah, there's just a simpler solution to this. The Andromeda Initiative, after hearing Ryder's message from Liara about the coming of the Reapers, uses remnant tech to make a faster mass relay that they then send Ryder and the Pathfinder team back to the Milky Way to investigate. And you come back, and it's like 1,200 years later. Liara's a matriarch. Not 1,200 years later, but, like maybe like 900 years later. Liara's a matriarch. The Geth, I don't know what's going on with the Geth. We don't know what's going on with the Geth. We know they're involved somehow from the promotional material. But Cerberus is trying to do Cerberus shit, and Ryder has to stand up to him. I mean, it's so simple. The plot writes itself, but I just really have no confidence in the current team. I don't want to be a hater, but I really just have no confidence in the current BioWare team at BioWare to choose the simplest way out. Like, I think that they're going to hear all of the people saying, we want Shepard back, and they're going to do some bullshit like time travel to get Cerberus back, or not Cerberus, to get Shepard back, and not have the balls to make a new character or to involve Ryder. We already know that they're talking about connecting Andromeda to the Milky Way in some way. We already know that that's the case. So it is the case, right? It is what they want to do, but we just don't know how exactly they're going to do that. And I think that the way that they're going to do that is going to be stupid. I have no faith. I have no faith in the team at BioWare to deliver a good Mass Effect story that's not fan servicey, because people are so passionate about getting Shepard back, and I just don't understand why everybody wants Shepard back. Like, Shepard was great. I love Shepard, but it's done. Shepard is done. I feel very strongly about this. I don't know if you can tell that.
We cannot tarry long.
So, all of this is just a dream? Part of the Fade?
It is not just a dream. The minds of mankind are made real here. Their hopes, their loves, and their fears. What changes their world also changes this one. And yours are footsteps that move mountains in both. Tread carefully, Inquisitor. This ground is more treacherous than you know.
I hope they do too. It'll really depend. My optimism for Mass Effect 4 will depend entirely on how Veilguard comes out. I did not like the reveal trailer for Veilguard. I liked the Dreadwolf reveal trailer, but now, then, of course, we know everything changed somewhat. Not everything. But some things changed about the marketing and the identity of the game between that one. But the reveal trailer was shitty. I felt very Fortnite. I was like, this is stupid. I don't like that. But then they did the gameplay reveal, and they did another trailer, and I'm a lot more optimistic about the direction of Dragon Age of Veilguard now. I like the direction that the combat's going, even though I don't like the elimination of real-time with pause. I feel like that was the one sort of thing that I felt like could have continued on to separate Dragon Age from Mass Effect. And everybody says, Dragon Age should be... Or some, not everybody, but some people say that Dragon Age is just kind of becoming a Mass Effect, and some people have mixed feelings about that. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. But I do feel like it's unnecessary to get rid of real-time with pause in Dragon Age, no matter how you change the combat. And that it would be good to have something identifiable as a difference between Dragon Age and Mass Effect. But I'm not mad that Dragon Age is becoming more like Mass Effect. It's kind of always been the trajectory of Dragon Age to begin with, ever since Mass Effect 1 came out.
I'd like to know more about the nightmare.
It is not simply fear. It is the terror you cannot remember, the horror your mind erases to protect you. When old memories no longer make the veteran soldier's hand tremble, it is because...
Yeah, Ziga, you said if Shepard comes back, bring Saren back. That's funny.
It is simple for the demon to steal the
that is
darkest
cute.
fragments. They forget, and it feeds. Corypheus has helped it grow monstrous.
Yeah. I mean, that would make as much sense. But it is really just as simple as having them build some sort of using Remnant tech in the Andromeda Galaxy, because Remnant tech is like leaps and bounds better than anything in the Milky Way, even stuff based on Reaper tech. Remnant tech is better. So it's conceivable that they could create a better mass relay that could transport them, if not, instantaneously back to the Milky Way, from the time that they're in, then much less years of a journey back to the Milky Way. Because of course it's like, what, 300 years or something like that traveling at FTL? I can't remember exactly how many years it was. Oh, I disliked how it looked in the reveal trailer, but after we saw the gameplay reveal trailer and the later trailer after that, I don't think it's that big of a difference. I think it is just maybe a tiny bit more cartoonish than Dragon Age Inquisition. But it's nowhere near as Fortnite-y as it looked as Fortnite-y, as Overwatch-y as it looked in the first reveal trailer. If you haven't seen the later marketing material that's come out after that first reveal trailer, then you should go look it up. The gameplay reveal and all the images that we're getting of like landscapes and stuff like that, I don't think it looks that different from Inquisition. I think people are still hung up on that first reveal trailer, and they just haven't seen the rest of the stuff because they didn't try to look it up.
It makes people forget the worst parts of their fears. It almost sounds like the nightmare is helping people.
Perhaps it was once. But now, it helps none but Corypheus. By his hand, it creates more fear and grows even stronger. In any case, robbing people of their fears is never a kindness. At best, it is a mistake born of compassion. Without fear and pain and failure,
we cannot learn.
We cannot grow, as you cannot grow until you recover all that was taken from you.
You must know what really happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
As must you. The answer lies in your memories, lost to the nightmare when you last walked the Fade.
Or you could just tell me.
Would you trust my words? Trust what you have seen.
What can you tell me about this mark on my hand?
You already know how the mark came to be upon your hand. As for what it is the needle that pulls the thread, as well as the key.
Yes.
I don't understand.
That is the important thing, Zigga.
Through the veil, as little else can. You are the thread, and it is the key that locks or unlocks the door to the Fade. It lets you walk in the Fade physically, and survive. Without it, Corypheus must find another way to the Black City. It is part of you now, and cannot be removed without your death.
So, can you tell me what you are?
I told you. I am helping you.
Yes, but are you her, or some kind of Fade remnant of her? Or a spirit imitating her?
Our world is never that.
Thanks, Demonix. It's been really good talking to you. I appreciate all the mechanical help and loved having all those conversations. I always love it when another BioWare fan pops in the chat and talk about these things.
If I was chosen, I just don't understand why. Why me? Why this?
You are not the first to ask such questions. Did Andraste not question when the Maker charged her with an impossible task?
Yeah.
Did she not feel unworthy?
Pretty rough.
Her questions didn't lessen her heroism.
So now I'm a hero?
Not yet. Perhaps not ever. The choice will be yours.
You still haven't answered my question. What are you?
I am what you see. All other answers rest in you.
Tell me why you're here. Why take part in this?
After heaven, I hid here, I watched quietly, learned what I could, and searched for some way to help. And then you came.
I don't know what that means.
Corypheus and the Nightmare do an injustice to the world. You must stop them. Perhaps you were meant to stop them. Perhaps that is why I am here.
We should keep moving.
Demons! Ah!
See if we can't heal everybody with this regen potion. Everybody get in! What? Ah, I just want to see their health bars.
Go!
Hold on. I don't want to get that last one until I've done this. Man, I feel like I've not been diligent about getting all the stuff done. Getting all the puzzles.
how I escaped.
The demon! Keep running! Ah!
It was you. They thought it was Andraste sending me from the Fade, but it was the Divine behind me. And then you... she died.
Yes.
So this creature is simply a spirit?
You don't say.
I am sorry if I disappoint you.
Are you a memory of the Divine? A reflection?
If that is the story you wish to tell, it is not a bad one.
What we do know is that the mortal divine perished at the temple thanks to the Grey Wardens.
As I said, the Grey Wardens responsible for that crime were under the control of Corypheus. We can discuss this further once we return to Adamant.
Assuming that the Wardens and their demon army didn't destroy the Inquisition while we were gone.
How dare you judge us? You tore Kirkwall apart and started the Mage Rebellion.
To protect innocent mages, not madmen drunk on blood magic. But you'd ignore that, because you can't imagine a world without the Wardens, even if that's what we need.
What are you saying? You want to get rid of the Wardens? Everyone makes mistakes. They would have died to save us.
They might still be useful. What if Corypheus conjures another blight? You never know.
I don't know what to tell you. There are a few good ones, but an awful lot of the Wardens I've known went crazy.
Sweet Maker, could both of you please shut up? We can argue once we've escaped from the giant fear demon.
Inquisitor!
Hey, Maple! Good to see ya.
The nightmare has found
Hope
us.
you're not arachnophobic.
Form up! I'm with you.
Oh, I said, hey, Maple. I said, I hope you're not arachnophobic. Oh, Underrana Tishan. Oh, it's like Elven way to say hello in the game that we're playing.
She is our way out of here.
Warden Stroud, how must it feel to devote your whole life to the Wardens, only to watch them fall? Or worse, to know that you were responsible for their destruction? When the next blight comes, will they curse your name?
The Maker's blessing will end this wretched
That's my greetings in Dragon Age. Tarot card. Present the item to the Warden. Nice. Skew me. You know, it's so cool how every game has a fade segment where you get bonuses to your stats. Isn't that interesting? What an interesting thing to just have kind of as a repeating segment throughout the franchise. There's always one prolonged fade segment in the main quest that gives you this sort of thing in Dragon Age Origins 2 and in Inquisition.
Do you think you can fight me? I am your every fear come to life. I am the veiled hand of Corypheus himself. The demon army you fear, I command it. They are bound all through me.
Ah, so if we banish you, we banish the demons. Thank you. Every fear come to life.
Okay, I am forgetting something. There's gotta be more right? There's got to be more. Okay, maybe I'm just not all the way through the... Oh, wait, what's this? Examine. Whispers written in red lyrium. Yeah, that's pretty much me all the time, isn't it? Yeah, I need to just chill out, and I guess just keep running. Just keep running, just keep running. I don't know which way is the right way. I think it's this way. I want more riddles.
I guess things just
running.
float whenever they feel like it here. Wonder what's up there. Or maybe it's best we never find out.
Oh, there it is. No, I was out of that, dude. Give me a break.
Hard to outrun anything in this swamp.
Sure. Yeah, I think I can do that. That's not it. I think I can do that. Well, media volume? No, that's just music and shit. I can turn my mic up, but I don't think I can turn a little bit more or quiet than the game. Okay. How about this? I just turned my mic up 2 notches. I can't figure out how to turn the game down per se. Not right. I'll look it up. I'll do some research into that. Let me know if this is better or worse. Sound good? Okay, good. Good. The Scholar. Alright, let's see what everybody kills everybody. Blackwall killed himself. Ooh. Cole died by despair. Solus died by dying alone. Oh, it's their fears. Blackwall fears himself. Blackwall, Cole fears becoming a spirit of despair. Solus fears dying alone. Ferric fears becoming his parents. That's cute. Iron Bull fears madness. Vivian fears irrelevance. Cassandra fears helplessness. Dorian fears temptation. And Sarah fears the nothing. Not nothing. The nothing. A little bit of Diablo. Yeah, I mean, the gameplay style is a lot different, but the world design can be similar sometimes. Dragon Age was originally made to, Dragon Age, especially Dragon Age Origins. You can really see it in Dragon Age Origins, but these games were kind of originally made as, like, dark fantasy, quote-unquote, like, sort of metal aesthetic. An Inquisition named The Nothing. It has to be The Nothing. So that you can, because Sarah's like so hot for Kunari too. Like Sarah's so like horny for Kunari. No pun intended. But yeah, these games were originally made to be sort of like dark fantasy, very metal aesthetic, metal album aesthetic. And they evolved over time to kind of deviate from that a little bit. Oh, I'm sure you can. It'll just be The Nothing Adar. Because you have to have the last name. Yo, look at it. 2 Pride Demon. Well, hold on. Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted to do. Save.
Rust of us, but that's a big one. It feeds on our fear. Let it go hungry tonight.
That's a line right there, Blackwall. What a line. I was gonna save that for the Fear Demon, but I really need it. Really need it. Tear him up. Nice. Put those Pride Demons down. A nug! A stuffed nug, to be precise. Oh yeah, there's a puzzle here. This is a puzzle. Hold on, let me look around. Inscribed words. Ah! Get out of my way, Stroud. Freaking red shirt. Nice. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this. How do you do? Can y'all just move? Just get out of my fucking way. Dude. Got it. Got it. Beautiful. Alright, we are nearing the end.
Look!
More of them, more of them, more of them. Well, can I get up there, please? Thank you. I just want this shadowed viridian crystal. Whoa, whoa. Ooh. Coming up on us. Shocky, shocky. Ooh, another one. Oh, they're like, what? They're just coming out of the woodwork. Hey, Pack Alpha, how you doing? Good to see you. Barrier strength? Oh, she's taking down the barrier? What do we have to do? Defend the spirit? Well, that wasn't so bad. Famous last words. I didn't really get to explore this area, so let me make sure that there's no codex entries or anything laying around. Okay, I don't think so. What about this side? Okay. Alright, I think we're good. What's going on with this? Retrieve the Dreamer's Reward.
get through the rift, Inquisitor. Get through, and then slam it closed with all your strength. That will banish the army of demons and exile this cursed creature to the farthest reaches of the Fade.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm happy to do that. Essence of Perfection? What the hell is that?
The rift! We're almost there.
Great, Hawk. Why not just dare the old gods to try and stop you?
If you would, please tell Liliana. I am sorry. I failed for you too.
Cannot stand against me. You will die in agony.
My plans for the day, we gonna do this, and then I got a meeting with one of the other members of the Discord channel to talk about how to work Streamlabs, because I'm completely clueless, but I want to, and so after that we do that. Where is everyone's focus abilities? They don't really have them yet. And then, I don't know really after that. I might end up doing a night stream with one of the members of KSS on the finals. Yes! Focus ability. Nice. Hair on up. We're gonna get him. Oh, I got him with the thing. He's getting ate up, bro. This guy's nothing. He's gonna die like a bitch.
You are nothing.
Man, my sword does hella damage to barrier too. I need to keep that in mind. Man, I swear, I'm out of that every time. They still get me. Oh, no! Black wall! Get him up, get him up, get him up. There he is. Nice! Right on time, too. Go for a bike ride, then come and do Storm Coast and Forbidden Oasis. That's cool.
We need to clear a path.
That's funny, mate.
Go. I'll cover you. No, you were right. The Grey Wardens caused this. A warden must help them rebuild. That's your job.
Corypheus is mine.
Here it is, y'all. Here it is. I wish Demonics was back. Somebody send Demonics a message. Somebody send Demonics a message on the Discord. Tell him to come back. Gotta make sure my legs don't get full of jelly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to ride a bike. I'll be honest. I don't know how to ride a bike. I don't know how to ride a skateboard. I don't know how. I know how to ride a scooter. And I know how to ride a four-wheeler. But I don't know how to ride a bike. Typically, anything that has 2 wheels, I can't do. If it's got 3 wheels, I can do it. I have several friends who have insisted on letting them teach me how to ride a bike, and I'm like, I don't know, man. If I didn't learn it whenever I was 6, I doubt I'm going to learn it whenever I'm almost 30. Somebody get Demonics! Out to let's see if Demonic shows back up. I'll give him like till 11:35, which is you know, wherever you're at. It's 11:35 or it's 11:30 where I'm at. Oh, he's coming back! Demonics is coming back. Ah, there he is. Okay. Alright. Alright. We might have to talk about this after it happens. We might have to talk about this. Wait for it. I'm gonna let the suspense build a little bit. Just a little bit. What do we think? What do we think? What's the chat think? I'd like to know before we do it. You say Hawk stays? Alright, we got Maple saying Hawk stays. We got Zigga saying Stroud stays. We got Demonic saying Hawk. Stroud. Well, you're saying Stroud stays. Man, that's intense. That's intense. Well, oh man, no hard feelings.
Hawk! Say goodbye to Varric for me.
You can say goodbye right now. He's right there.
Always the maker
We got him. Oh, says Zigga. Alright, let's let the cutscene get to where it is and then we can talk about it. Like a boss.
With the nightmare banished, Corypheus lost both his warden mages and his demon army. But in the stories your soldiers will tell, their Inquisitor broke the spell with the Maker's blessing.
Alright. Reason number one. There can only be one. There can only be one protagonist. There can only be one. Right? So, Hawk had to go. Because there can only be one Inquisitor, and that's a big question everybody was asking, is like, oh, you know, when we were looking for Hawk, you were like, you just kind of showed up. And so, there's kind of like a competition there to see who is the better protagonist. And regardless, I love Hawk. I fucking love Hawk. I actually really like Dragon Age 2, where most people don't. But this town ain't big enough for the both of us, ain't it, Mist? That's true. That can only be one. Second off, it was set up in the very beginning of Dragon Age 2 when Flemeth told Hawk, when you see the abyss, do not be afraid to leap, right? And she told Hawk what he needs to do from the very beginning of Dragon Age 2, that it's his responsibility to hold off the abyss. You know what I mean? To brave the abyss. So that's second off. Third off, having the Warden, whoever the Warden is, Loghain, Alistair, or Stroud. There really should have been more options, and I've talked about that in previous streams, but having the Warden alive is, I think, we don't know what's going to happen in Veilguard, but it contributes to a more diverse landscape for the Wardens to exist after all of this, right? Because really all this is affecting is just the Orlesian Wardens. We're not even talking about the Wardens beyond Orlais, like in the Anderfells and Tevinter and whatnot. So there's all that. And Stroud being alive kind of gives, I think, I've been saying this whole time that Stroud has red shirt energy, and he does have red shirt energy, but him being the only warden left of the Orlesian Wardens who never gave in to Corypheus makes him something a bit more than the red shirt that he is, and I'm wondering how it's going to turn out in Dragon Age the Veilguard for the Wardens, because we know that we get a Warden companion, Davrin, I think is his name. So I'm interested to see what sort of landscape the Wardens exist in after this, and I think Stroud can be an interesting part of that. I think that Loghain and Alistair are more interesting parts of that, but I think that Loghain and Alistair are also more interesting in the ways that I have arranged them in my keep, where Alistair is king with Honora, and Loghain is, like, dead. Even though I really, honestly like having Loghain as the Grey Warden. I think that that's really cool, but that's neither here nor there. And we also don't know what happens to Hawke. Like, does he die? Does he die? We don't know. We don't know. Right? We don't have no body, right? And the typical rule in all of fiction, in all of storytelling, is if you don't see a body, they might not be dead. So, Hawke, we don't know what's going to happen with Hawke if Hawke stays in the Fade. Even if he does die, it's a pretty heroic end for Hawke, the champion of Kirkwall, right? And he says Corypheus is his responsibility. I don't really like that framing for Hawke being the one to sacrifice himself. Because it's not really Corypheus that he's taking responsibility for. Although it does make sense in a way, because his dad was the one who maintained the seals, and then Hawke thought that he reestablished the seals, and he couldn't, so he had to kill Corypheus, and he thought that he killed Corypheus, and then he didn't. So to have Hawke be the one to sacrifice himself, I think just makes the most sense for the story and for the world. Indeed it does, Demonics. It does. Like we just saw with the Divine, right? She's not the Divine. The Divine is dead, but the spirit that is the spirit that became the memories of the Divine is a powerful thing, and maybe the spirit that becomes the memories of Hawke can be a powerful thing. Or I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways it could turn out, but I do think that Hawke sacrificing himself makes the most sense to the narrative of Dragon Age Inquisition. It makes the most sense to the narrative of Dragon Age 2, and it sets the world up for more interesting outcomes in Dragon Age the Veilguard, because we know that Hawke is not the protagonist. We know that Hawke is not the protagonist. We know that the Inquisitor is still alive, somewhat. But not directly involved. You know, I might eat my words on this later, after October 31st, but the Inquisitor is not the protagonist, and we don't know how involved that the Inquisitor is going to be in the narrative of Dragon Age the Veilguard. Probably involved somewhat, maybe even in a similar way to how Hawke was involved in this game, where there's probably some sort of sacrifice going on. I don't know. We don't know. But the main thing is that there can only be one. And the Warden is gone, not dead in this world state, but gone. Hawke is gone. And we don't know what's going to happen to the Inquisitor. So, now, as you said about getting Warden support, but in the stories your soldiers will tell,
they came out of this alive. As far as I'm concerned, they can tell whatever stories they like.
And I suspect this will not be the last story they tell about you.
Inquisitor, the Archdemon flew off as soon as you disappeared. The Venatori Magister is unconscious but alive. Cullen thought you might wish to deal with him yourself. As for the Wardens, those who weren't corrupted helped us fight the demons. We stand ready to help make up for Clarel's tragic mistake.
Where's Hawke?
You were there, Varric. You were there.
Hawke?
Hawke sacrificed his life to save us and strike a decisive blow against Corypheus.
Well?
He gave his life not because he'd sworn an oath or been marked as special, but because someone had to do it.
Stroud, you're the senior surviving Grey Warden. What do we do now?
still vulnerable to Corypheus, and we've lost enough people already fighting corrupted wardens. By the authority of the Inquisition, you are banished from southern Thedas.
No.
A bit dramatic, if you ask me.
Stroud will oversee your return to the Warden Fortress at Weishaupt.
Yes, your worship.
Your worship, I would stay, if you allow it, and continue our fight.
Of course. I have never doubted your loyalty, Blackwall.
Make her watch over your Inquisition. It has been an honor.
Yeah, no. Yeah, the wardens are gone. Sorry about that. You said, at least you'll have good warden support. Nope. Nope. I think, again, I think it's more interesting to have the wardens leave. I think it's interesting to kind of...
Stroud sent me one final report. He's on his way to Weishaupt. The Grey Wardens are gone as well. Adamant Fortress has been sealed. You dealt Corypheus a significant blow, Inquisitor.
Yeah, so I think that it sets the world up for more interesting future developments if the wardens are banished from Orlais. I think it makes sense for the Inquisitor to say that, like, you're corrupted. You guys have already fallen to this once. I can't trust you guys to help us. In the same way that you can trust the Templars. You know what I mean? Like, the Templars were corrupted because they took Red Lyrium, not because they were blighted. The Wardens are inherently blighted, and therefore, you know, at least as far as the Inquisitor knows, doesn't... that can't be taken away, that can't be reversed, and that puts them at risk of being taken over by Corypheus again. So, of course, I think that she would banish them. I also think that it's interesting for the Inquisitor to kind of repeat some of the mistakes of Thedas' history. And, of course, the Wardens were banished from Ferelden for much more petty reasons in, you know, centuries past, which we learn about in the Soldier's Peak DLC, and more generally in Dragon Age Origins as a whole. Have a wonderful one. Thanks for tuning in, Maple. But yeah, so the Wardens, I think that the Inquisitor repeating one of the mistakes under different circumstances of the history kind of sets things up for something cool, you know, possibly another sort of Fifth Blight situation, but in Orlais. Not, you know, just the possibilities, right? The drama of the Wardens being banished and what that means, I think, is kind of... And it just sticking to the role play, I think, is the main thing in my head, right? It's trying to think beyond just how to get the best ending, sort of IGN guide, how to get the best ending in Dragon Age Inquisition sort of thing, and more just trying to do what I think the character would do.
The Grey Wardens are active in other nations. If we put out a discreet warning about the danger they pose,
we may improve our standing with nations already concerned about the Wardens. I will take the matter to Josephine. While you bested Corypheus here and at Halam Shiral, he himself was not present either time. We fear he is close to finding another way to enter the Fade. When you have a moment, Colin and Josephine are waiting in the war room with an update. What was she like? Divine Justinia, or her soul, or the spirit that took her form. I read your report. I know it isn't clear, but...
She seemed calm, serene even, and she guided us the whole way through.
That does sound like her.
She did ask me to tell you something, though. She said, "I'm sorry, I failed you too."
Oh. I should finish this before it slips my mind. Perhaps later we might discuss the matter further. Thank you.
Well, there we have it. That's Adamant, ladies and gentlemen, and those who lie betwixt. Thanks for tuning back in, Demonics. I don't know if you're going to stick around, but I'm glad that you got to see the Hawk decision.
The Inquisitor's work is never done, I see.
I should go.
Here I...
Talk to Viv.
My dear, I know you must have a great deal on your mind right now, but I need to speak with you. You know as well as I how far the Inquisition's influence has spread, and how desperate the Grand Clerics have become. Our opinion will be instrumental in their election of the new Divine.
They want Leliana and Cassandra as candidates.
The Inquisition may not be invited to their vote, but our actions will certainly influence the Grand Clerics. To sit on the Sunburst throne, a candidate should have grace, charm, and a will of solid steel.
Witcher 3, that's dope. Might tune in for that depending on how much time.
She is the strongest choice.
Depending on how much time I have. I like the first two, but unless you think she is the strongest choice.
What would your ideal Divine do with her power?
The most important thing, of course, is the restoration of the Circles and the Templar Order. The institutions that have protected Thedas for ages must be rebuilt, and the malcontents utterly crushed. We cannot allow anarchists to threaten the lives of the innocent. After we have restored sanity to the world, there will be time to address voices of dissent.
Innocent who, Vivian? Innocent who? Innocent nobles? Innocent Grand Clerics? Innocent kings? Huh? Barons? No. You can fuck off.
Candidates outside of the Chantry. There must be someone other than Leliana or Cassandra.
The Chantry is already desperate. They would not look to unordained women if they had any choice. You may have better luck searching the halls of the Imperial Court. There are many women serving the Empire who have the necessary presence and acumen.
Leliana might be a better choice than Cassandra, don't you think?
Leliana is a well-meaning fool. She will do irreparable harm to countless people in the name of freedom. She proposes to abolish the Circles with nothing but a solemn promise from mages not to murder children. When an angry mage lashes out inside a tower, villages aren't destroyed. The Circle protects us all. Mages will die and take ordinary men with them in a war that cannot be won. Consider carefully, Inquisitor. Everything we do is a sign from the Maker to those who seek one.
I want you gone. Get out of my life, you manipulative bitch. Playing at blinds? That's cool. That's cool. I've only ever beat it once. But I pretty much did everything. Pretty dope though. I liked how things ended out. I think I got a pretty good ending.
I cannot believe the Grey Wardens could even conceive of such a plan. To seek out these old gods deliberately in some bizarre attempt to preempt the Blight.
And calling the army of demons. That's my favorite part.
The demons are nothing. They're a tool.
A tool that would have let Corypheus ride roughshod over most of Orlais.
Even if they hadn't, the entire idea is wrong. The Blight is not something one smugly outsmarts. Forgive me. The entire idea is unnerving.
Yeah, it is. It's quite unnerving.
First the Templars, now the Grey Wardens. Both devoted their lives to fighting evil. Now they serve it.
We brought most of the Templars over.
I thank the Maker for that, even if we were too late for some. The Inquisition must serve as an example. We must stand where others fall.
Twisted indeed, Demonics. I had a whole freaking monologue in an earlier stream where I talked about how I think in a lot of ways her becoming divine is actually really, really interesting, and I think how she subverts the expectations set by the world in previous games is so cool from a writing perspective. So don't get me wrong, I think that she is a well-written character, but I hate her. Like it's like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. It's like I can admit that this is a character that is like deeply interesting and contributes to the story in unexpected and just, you know, wonderful ways. But if Vivian becomes divine, because you're not really even in control of that, honestly. The game's like underlying calculus is control of that, honestly. But which of course you know, probably. But Vivian is an interesting divine because it's so unusual to have someone like her be so conservative, right? For lack of a better word, like lower C conservative. In her beliefs and in her policy decisions and stuff like that, and how it kind of sets the world up for more drama. But I think with regards to Vivian, with regards to the choice for divine, I think that we're going to probably aim for Cassandra, maybe Liliana, but I think Cassandra is like the easiest one to get, and I think with the decisions that we've made so far, I think it's probably going to end up being Cassandra, and I'm happy with that. The only reason why I don't like Cassandra as divine is because she doesn't go on to rebuild the Seekers if she becomes divine, which I kind of like that for her. But beyond that, I think Cassandra's a solid divine. She's just progressive enough to kind of make changes while still kind of maintaining a sense of normalcy, which that sense of normalcy, like we just saw with Vivian, right? Where Vivian's like, we can't let the malcontents hurt innocents. And it's like, who are you talking about? The innocents of who? The people of Thedas. You always use the term the people of Thedas. But we all know who you're really talking about. You're talking about nobles. You're talking about people with money and power who you don't want harmed because you want them in your life so that you can be relevant. And that's what we just saw, right? In the Fade, we saw Vivian's greatest fear is irrelevance. And that is going to drive her to do terrible things. And she supports a status quo that is harming innocence. You know, if we pay attention to what Sarah has to say, that status quo that Vivian is so keen on preserving is already hurting innocence. It's just not hurting innocence that Vivian cares about. Right, Ziga, right. Yeah, Liliana is a strong contender, to be sure. Liliana is a strong contender. If you pay attention, which of course Inquisition doesn't really have ending slides, epilogue slides like the other two games. Well, I don't know if Dragon Age 2 had epilogue slides either. But if you pay attention to Morrigan's kind of final epilogue, the epilogue monologue thing, Liliana being divine is somewhat less than ideal, depending on the choices that you make. depending on the choices that you make. Like, if you get the mages, Liliana's pretty good, because you can, they open up the College of Enchanters to be kind of a replacement for the circles that's more egalitarian and stuff like that. That's really cool. But we didn't take the mages. We took the Templars. So that is unfortunately not going to happen, even though I'm kind of in the camp that I don't know why they had to be mutually exclusive. Anyways, let's talk about Cullen.
I thought we could talk. Alone.
Alone? I mean, of course. It's a nice day.
What?
There was something you wished to discuss.
Cullen, I care for you, and
What's wrong?
I'm a mage.
See you, Zigga. Thanks for popping in. Always a pleasure.
Could you think of me as anything more?
I could. I mean, I do think of you, and what I might say in this sort of situation.
What's stopping you?
You're the Inquisitor. We're at war, and you haven't always seen me in the best light.
And yet I'm still here.
So you are. It seems too much to ask, but I want to.
Commander. You wanted a copy of Sister Leliana's report.
What?
Sister Leliana's report? You wanted it delivered without delay.
Don't be a dick about it, Cullen.
Or to your office. Right.
If you need to...
Hey, well, let me tell you, he was laying it on.
I'm sorry. That was, really nice.
What?
That was what I wanted.
Oh. Good.
Mwah! Mwah! Pretty boy. Hey, that's what Varric said, right? They just keep him around to look pretty, and he does. He do be looking pretty. An Inquisitor all about that. God, I love Skyhold. Skyhold's so dope. Solid player base. Righteous. So, now, we're actually going to move on. I don't know if I'm yelling. I don't know, man. I have difficulty.
Thank the Maker. Nothing but trouble.
I have a lot of difficulty with volume issues. I have had a lot of... I say this, it's not a brag. I'm not bragging. But I have had a lot of actual bombs go off in my ear. And so I have a little bit of a hearing issue. And sometimes I feel like I'm yelling, but then a lot of, like, we just had Mist in here, and Mist was saying I was too quiet. So I kind of, let me know if I'm being too loud or too quiet. But we are going to do this judgment here, and then I'm actually going to do the Descent DLC now. We're going to begin the Descent DLC now.
Adamant's influence continues, your worship. I submit Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, who remains loyal to Corypheus. We found him alive, offering extreme resistance, likely because the Order will ask for his head. In more colorful terms. To say nothing of justice you might personally require for what was suffered in the Fade.
Countless better men and women than you are dead. Why shouldn't this be quick?
I recognize none of this proceeding. You have no
Yes.
authority to judge me.
On the contrary, many officials have communicated that they will defer to the Inquisitor on this matter.
Because they fear not just Corypheus, but Tevinter, rightful ruler of every piece of ground you trod in your pathetic life. I serve a living god. Bring down your blades and free me from the physical. Glory awaits me.
Man.
You are the worst of us. The damage you have done is beyond all reckoning. A mage's crime, a mage's punishment. Lord Livius Eramond of Arantium, I deny you death. Tranquility.
You cannot! I'm a lord, you pissants! I will not lose myself!
Yes, you will. We're gonna make you make runes for the rest of your fucking life. So we have talked to Cullen, we've talked to Solus, Dorian, Vivian, Varric.
Did I ever tell you about the time Hawk was on a Merchant Guild hit list? Hawk's uncle got into an investment scheme with a couple of merchant caste businessmen. They took a lot of people's coin in order to arrange the import of wandering hills from the Anderfells. A delicacy, I'm told. Their weird foreign foodstuffs arrived alive, and one of them, true to its name, wandered off in the middle of the night.
Indeed, poor sad Varric. Give hug.
Shit. The guild.
Nice touch with the music,
to
too.
Hawk's uncle, but as usual, he was so far in debt he couldn't see daylight. So they went after Hawk instead. They sent guys from the local carter to Hawk's estate one night. 5 big dusters, armed to the teeth. They kick in the door, and Hawk yells, "You're just in time," and drags them over to a game of Wicked Grace. They played 2 hands of cards before the city guard showed up to take them away. A couple of them became regulars in our weekly game. Hawk just had that
effect on people.
I always wanted to tell that one. Thanks. I guess I've got some letters to write. Isabella should know. Excuse me.
Aw, man. Nah, Carver needs to know. Yeah, not looking good for Varric. In the, from what we've seen of Veilguard, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think it's looking good for Varric. I think it's looking kind of like Varric might go the way of Obi-Wan, if you know what I mean. Oh, we've got another judgment to do? Who we got to judge this time?
Another of the lingering pains of Adamant, your worship. Sir Ruth is a senior warden of the Order. She was one of the many who slit the throat of another to bind a demon. She does not contest this. In fact, she surrendered to us. She requests no mercy. She wants the public justice of the Headman's Act.
I was thinking more like New Hope Obi-Wan, but I don't know, maybe. We'll see.
You're very serious about this. Is more death the answer?
There is no excuse for my actions. I murdered another of the Order. That blood marks me more than the Blight ever could.
Accepting their actions while thralls of Corypheus
Many treaties allow wardens any extreme if it opposes the Blight.
I can't do it. I can't use the greater good to justify my crimes, as if it would create a future I could be a part of. It is wrong that this broke me. I've done worse with full sanction. I can do nothing except be an example of the cost.
Humiliation, and go to the deep roads, jail her. Oh no, man, we're gonna send her to the deep roads.
You feel your life is over? There's a place for such wardens. Saruth, you'll go to the deep roads. Your death may be as quick as you choose.
This sends no message. This is just an end.
Welcome to the Grey Wardens. In peace, vigilance, and death sacrifice. Go on. Go to the deep roads. Kill as many darkspawn as you can. And die like the rest of your people. Stop being a bitch and trying to get out of it easy with a headsman's axe.
What did the Seeker say?
Lady Cassandra feels her connections with the Nevarran court wouldn't be of use, my lady.
Of course she does. We've an interesting development, Inquisitor. A petition from citizens of Val Royal. They wish to know what Andraste said to you in the Fade.
They think she spoke to me.
Even Leliana can't trace the rumor's origin. It may be expedient to respond to those asking for Andraste's words.
It's not Andraste who saved me.
Few people outside Skyhold know it was Divine Justinia who delivered you from the Fade. You could attempt to tell Val Royal citizens the truth, though it may not be as inspiring as they hope.
The Inquisition won't answer their petition. That's all.
They will be disappointed, but rumor will eventually fill in words for us. Let us hope they stay within reason.
Before I do the war table, because that's probably going to start the next quest. What's this? What's this? Oh, it goes down. Goes down, does it? What's this? What? Oh, man. Every time I find this, like, I always find this on a playthrough by accident because I forget about it as soon as things start happening. What is green? And then this goes over to the...
I can store an army.
Oh, it's all the bottles of Thetis that we've picked up, too. Nice. I really wish that those were in the tavern, but whatever. The kitchen? Hey, that's actually kind of perfect. I needed to talk to Blackwall.
Someone I knew once described Adamant to me. Adamant is, and always will be, the Order, he said. A guardian on the edge of the abyss. The lone soul that stares into oblivion and doesn't waver. That's what Warden Commander Clarel tried to be. Well, they all tried to be. None of the Wardens we saw wavered. They gave their lives willingly. They died for us. And Corypheus twisted their sacrifice to make it his own.
And that's why he has to die.
You'll get no argument from me. There's no one to blame but Corypheus. Even Clorel's intentions were righteous. Her desire to protect was so great it led her astray. It's not right. To want to do good, to be good, and have that turned against you.
Don't think of what went wrong. Think of their intentions, their sacrifice. Honor their selflessness.
Clorel made mistakes, but she was a great woman. And she died a great woman. It's not the armor or the trappings of the Order. It's not the joining. At the heart of it, all a Warden is a promise. To protect others, even at the cost of your own life.
She... Dang it.
Make her a lady. Corypheus is taking a lot of them apart.
What up, Sigrid?
You get a title, I get the boot. I see how it is. I mean, thanks for my life. Pleased to serve.
Right, because you're kind of a dick.
Welcome back.
What do we have? Oh, it's a new song.
Inquisitor,
What's the current mood?
spirited enlightenment, also drunk.
What's the word out there?
Well, they once wore, now talks, now fashionable hats. Now they've seen something shiny.
As you were.
Inquisitor.
Again. Again. Come on! This is why the Qun doesn't like women fighting. I should have asked Cullen.
Good one.
Perhaps you can take over.
Qunari training exercise to master your fear. I heard about the nightmare at Adamant. Sounded big.
Can you explain why I'm supposed to hit you with this stick?
Probably, if I try.
Man's a machine. Indeed he is.
Just hit me with the stick, alright? I need to get over this demon crap.
How about we talk about
You're
it?
scared of demons.
Of course I'm scared of demons. Who in their right mind isn't? I mean, not like, oh, real demons. Big ones with fangs and crap. You're not gonna hit me, are you?
Is the stick covered in anti-demon charms or something?
Be nice if it was. For the Qunari, demons are the scariest thing out there. More so than dragons. Even mages. Possession, losing your mind. That's the worst thing that can happen to you.
It does seem terrifying.
You think I'd have gotten over the superstitions from back home? I don't care about mages. Living so long out here, most Qunari would say I've already lost my mind. And I know that's not true. At least, I'm pretty sure that's... Well, shit, that's probably what it is. You could have just hit me.
No, Iron Bull. Talk about your feelings. Talk about your feelings, Iron Bull. Does Krem have anything to say?
Commander Cullen did good
What
work
up?
at Adamant. Breached those walls like he'd done it a dozen times. Nice job with the demons, by the way.
We'll talk
Thanks,
later.
Krem.
Inquisitor! Inquisitor.
Inquisitor! Have you seen otherwise?
Sarah.
Heard what went on in that Fade thing. What you think went on. Can't even start to believe that business.
It's hard to describe.
Yeah,
Guess you had to
very
be there.
unhealthy.
No friggin' thanks. Some people are still there. Hawk, yeah? Lost a champion. Also, you could tell the Wardens to piss off. And they're always weird. Usually, bad stuff happens first, so you're glad when the hero shows up. But Wardens are the wrong way round. They're the good thing that means a bad thing is about to happen. Like in Denerim, when the Blight ended.
A lot happened in Denerim. What did you see?
People talked a lot about this one Warden. There was a big fight and they died, or, I don't know, maybe they didn't.
The hero of Ferelden. You forget the hero of Ferelden.
That was ages ago. 10 years. I was playing with small painted boxes and burying stuff I stole. I remember more people cringing about magic than Blight. Wardens were an excuse for your stuff to go missing. Blackwall's nice, though. Different from the adamant ones. Need more like him.
Righteous. Cole.
No. But you like demons. I enjoy the company of spirits, yes, which is part of why I do not abuse them with bindings.
It isn't abuse, if I ask.
Not always true. Also, I do not practice blood magic, which renders this entire conversation academic.
He won't bind me. He's a mage and he likes demons, but he won't help.
Why would you want Solus to bind you?
So I'm safe. If Solus won't do the ritual to bind me, someone else could. Will. Like the Warden mages, and then... I'm not me anymore. Walls around what I want. Blocking, bleeding, making me a monster.
A mage using blood magic could conceivably do that to any one of us, human or demon.
You should ask Solus to bind you too, and then someone can bind him.
We'll find a way to keep you safe without binding you, Cole.
I have a suggestion, if Cole is ready to listen. I recall stories of amulets used by Raveni seers to protect spirits they summoned from rival mages. A spirit, wearing an amulet of the Unbound, was immune to blood magic and binding. It should protect Cole as well. The resources of the Inquisition could be used to find such a talisman.
Good. They will not take me.
Yeah, doesn't it turn out to be like a placebo, essentially? Pretty sure.
Writing does not come naturally to me, as I'm certain you can imagine.
Are you all right? You seem very intent.
I am. This needs to be done before I forget. As if written by a dim-witted child. Historians will one day ask what happened at Adamant Fortress, in the Fade. I wasn't there, but others were. Their accounts must be recorded.
That's an excellent idea, Cassandra.
I certainly thought so, until I started writing. I still don't know what to say about the spirit of the divine. The Chantry teaches us that the souls of the dead pass through the Fade, so it could have been her. Yet even so...
Do you really think it might have been her? A ghost?
A ghost. A remnant of her hopes and memories. Her lingering will to do good. Those things are all possible. Nobody knows for certain what happens after we die. A spirit could have assumed her form, but why? It helped you, as Justinia herself would have.
Perhaps it doesn't matter what she really was, then.
It matters to me, to what I must write. I wish I'd seen her, seen it. I feel so inadequate trying to interpret.
Spirit, nothing more.
I don't know the truth any more than you do.
Sadly, unanswered questions make for poor reading. When they told me you were physically in the Fade, I was terrified for you. The last time such a thing happened, we created Darkspawn. We created Corypheus. The world needs to know the truth this time. No more legends lost to the ages.
Yeah. I think that's something that I'm kind of leaning into with this Inquisitor is like the will to just say, I don't know, but I still believe in the Maker. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have all the answers and I don't need all the answers, but all I do need is my faith and my desire based on that faith to help people, you know, to be like Cole, to be like Justinia, to be like the spirit that took Justinia's form, you know. I think it was just like Wyatt, you know, like Chronic Kitsch thinks that it is just a spirit, right? But that doesn't mean that it's any less important to the way that things work. That's kind of my thought process is, what does it matter if it's just a spirit or not? What does it matter if it's just a spirit or not? Maybe we need to change the way that we think about spirits. And that's kind of what Solus says. And Solus is right. Solus is right. I mean, he's like canonically right. Baldy boy. Anybody else? Pretty sure I've talked to everybody. Let's go to the war table. Oh wait, Morrigan. Let's go talk to Morrigan. Nope, not that way.
Inquisitor?
And Mother Giselle too, I think. Probably could talk to her. Yeah, usually, especially if I do a Kunari, which is kind of my two mains that I've ever played through was the Kunari and the human. Various different types of human, mage, rogue, warrior. But whenever I do a Kunari playthrough, I'm a non-believer, and I kind of stick to that, and I actually kind of play more into the aspect of breaking down Chantry beliefs. That's kind of been my playthrough. So this is actually really different for me. This kind of character that is fundamentally a believer in Andrastianism. That's kind of a new one for me. And it's been cool so far. I've been enjoying playing through it.
The Grey Wardens are now banished from southern lands. Such a descent into infamy after their victory in the Fifth Flight. I wonder if they wish now that the war had spread further. They have until the next Archdemon's rise to repair what damage they have done, if they are even able. One thing which makes me curious, did you encounter the hero of Ferelden at Adamant Fortress?
Was the hero of Ferelden a friend of yours?
We traveled together during the time she fought the Blight. I helped her, and she helped me. Indeed, without her, my son would never have been born. Regardless, did you see her?
I met no one by that title.
When the champion of Kirkwall mentioned a Grey Warden ally, I assumed it would be she. It was, after all, just the sort of thing in which she would involve herself. But that rather begs the question, if the hero of Ferelden was not at Adamant, where is she? My suggestion, Track her down. She could be a great aid against Corypheus, or a terrible foe to the Inquisition.
What work have you been doing to help us?
Currently, my efforts are focused on determining what Corypheus is, and from the elven orb he carried. I wonder if the power he used to tear open the Fae. If I learn of its
Yeah, I've
origin,
already
I
had
may
that
also learn
dialogue.
what Corypheus now intends, as well as his weaknesses.
We need more from you.
Someone of yours.
I am doing what I can. In time, we shall see what more I can offer you.
I'll leave you to the garden.
As you like.
Yes, yeah, an Elven playthrough, there's a lot. There's a lot there for an Elven playthrough. And of course, the next main quest coming up, everything with regards to the Illuvians. Yeah, there's a lot of benefit to doing an Elven playthrough.
Inquisitor, the soldiers say you banished the demons at Adamant and freed the Grey Warden mages. I understand from Sister Leliana that the truth is somewhat more complex, but no less extraordinary. She said that you spoke with a figure in the Fade that seemed to be the soul of divine Justinia. I suspect many of the faithful would like to know what Justinia told you.
I wish that I could make Mother Giselle divine. You know what I mean? I don't even like Mother Giselle that much, but I think it would be cool. Like, I think yeah, I don't know. I feel like there in a lot of different ways there could have been way more options, including yourself. Like, and they refer to that like why you're not a choice, and they kind of give a half-baked reason why you can't be the divine. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I just feel like the Inquisitor could totally be the divine. Could totally ascend. Especially if you lean into the faith aspect, like you're talking about, demonics. Like, if you lean all the way into the faith aspect, I really don't feel like there should be any reason why you can't. I mean, you could become the king of Ferelden in Dragon Age Origins. You know what I mean? The warden, the hero of Ferelden can be the king of Ferelden in Dragon Age Inquisition.
She helped me remember what happened at the Conclave. The Maker didn't give me the mark on my hand. I was struck in battle. And Andraste didn't send me. The figure everyone saw was Divine Justinia.
I'm so sorry. That must have come as quite a shock.
I believed everything they said about me. I was so certain it was true. That I was the Herald of Andraste.
Who is to say that you are not? Forget the mark. Forget the figure standing over you as you fell from the Fade. The people needed a sign that in this harsh and unforgiving world, there existed some reason to hope. And they found that in you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, yeah, I mean, that's the explanation that they give, but I just don't buy it. That is the explanation that they give, though. Especially if you, depending on what you do in Trespasser, too. You know what I mean? Like, if the Inquisition no longer exists after Trespasser, but then, of course, whoever is made divine by Trespasser, so it would have to happen earlier.
Dress it up as fancy as you like. We're still lying to these people.
This is the trouble with metaphors and the educated. A farmer cannot understand the truth of the Maker, so he learns that the Maker is a man, but greater. A mage learns the same thing, knows it to be simplistic, and feels clever for realizing it is not literally true. But a metaphor is not a lie. It is a tool to help people understand something beyond them, and we need such a tool.
I don't need metaphors right now with everything Corypheus is doing. I need the truth.
Everyone says that when their lives are difficult. Everyone looks for some secret message. You might look upon the face of the Maker himself in a vision, but ultimately, even that would be just another metaphor. The truth is that he made this world, and he put us here to learn. That is all you can do.
Mother Giselle has her flaws, but she is kind of the smartest Grand Cleric. She is kind of the smartest agent of the Chantry in the entire game. Like, as far as someone who's an Andrastian, she's the most flexible enough with her beliefs to understand the complexities of the world without losing faith. And I have always really admired that about Mother Giselle's character, and how Mother Giselle evolved from Dragon Age Origins. Because if I remember right, she was in Dragon Age Origins, right? I can't remember if it was Origins or 2 that she was introduced in, but she's always been kind of the smartest person in the room, or the most faithful person in the room, with the most flexibility in her beliefs and willingness to push the faith as something that can help people rather than something that can control people. Whereas, like, all the other Grand Clerics in the Chantry are just trying to control people.
Can you tell me how our people are doing?
What would you like to know?
Lothering? Was it Lothering? I can't remember if she was introduced that early or not.
How are our forces at Skyhold doing?
We have many injured. The siege of Adamant was brutal for all involved. Even so, more flock to your banner. They have heard that the Inquisition defeated the legendary Grey Wardens. Your soldiers have been blooded, Inquisitor. They are veterans now. An army in more than just name.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Do you have information on people elsewhere?
The refugees in the hinterlands are desperate. Without help, with the rift near Crestwood sealed, the villagers have begun rebuilding. The people in the hills of Emprise de Lyon are safe. More than that, I cannot say.
Okay, cool. So,
Farewell.
is it the dragon? Is it literally just the dragon in the hinterlands that is... Ugh. Was she the revered mother of the Chantry there? No way, no way. The revered mother of the Chantry in Lothering was different. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I think we need some Prophet's Laurel. And we need some Rashvine Nittle. Yeah, I'd have to look it up to be sure. I did a playthrough of Dragon Age Origins in 2020. That was the last time that I played it. Alright, so the conversations have been had. We've already talked to Josephine, I think. Yeah, we have.
It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
Our alliance with Orlais holds. For the present. They'll send aid on request.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlais' support, our numbers match his. Corypheus' followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
Perhaps they'll rethink following the Darkspawn Magister from the dawn of time. Where is Corypheus now?
After Adamant, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds and sent them marching south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
We strike Corypheus now, while his people are reeling. If he's hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we finish him.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area?
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
Is best if I show you.
Why do you have to be so cryptic?
This is an Illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
You can restore an artifact like this?
There was a price, but one I gladly paid. I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds, untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
Oh yeah, Morrigan is Bay, for sure. Morrigan is
The
Bay.
question would be, where does it lead?
I'm super happy that she's in Veilguard. Not that there was ever really any doubt, but I am happy that she's in Veilguard, and I'm happy to see that she is becoming more like her mother every day. More like her mother and different from her mother every day. The inheritor of the next age. She's definitely gonna get what her mom has had.
I call it the Crossroads, a place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
This place is extraordinary. How could this even exist?
Who can say? Formed from the fabric of time and space, perhaps. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
What do you mean, a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the Illuvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others
Oh
are
yeah,
closed.
very hard fight,
They
especially
can
if
be
you don't
opened
have
only
Win
from beyond.
with the
Opened how?
spirit.
With a key.
What is it called? Spirit Guardian specialization. It's a must-have for dragon fights and Origins. Dragon fights and Origins are tough.
How did you find out about this place?
My travels have led me to many strange destinations, Inquisitor. Once, they led me here. It offered sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
Not all the mirrors lead back to our world. The ancients were nothing if not resourceful.
If they don't lead back to our world, then...
Places between, like this one. I can describe it no better. For a time, I had a respite with the man I loved. For a time, I had a safe place to raise my son. But only for a time. One cannot remain in between forever.
That's weird. Why did she just say something about the man I loved? No, I stabbed her ass. I stabbed her. There is no man. The Grey Warden was a woman, and she did the deed with Alistair, who was the Warden's lover before he broke up with her after he became king with Honora, because she told him to break up with her to become king with Honora, and then she got pissed off at Morrigan for the baby thing and stabbed him in Witch Hunt. So we're just going to ignore that line. I'm going to consider that a glitch. And no, she got stabbed.
Corypheus wants to come here. This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh, like Corypheus wanted to do with the Anchor.
He learned of the Alluvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it.
Yeah, dragon fights are brutal in Dragon Age Origins.
You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon.
All right.
The darkness comes upon me, I shall embrace the light.
What's this exclamation point right here? Varric? Oh, Bianca! What up, Bianca? Girl, let me tell you something.
I appreciate the warning, but you shouldn't have come yourself. What if the guild found out, or what's his name?
Are you worrying for me or for yourself?
A little of column A, a little of column B. I am the expendable one, after all.
Oh, don't worry, I'll protect you. We'll just have to... Well, this is a surprise. You're the Inquisitor, right? Bianca Davry, at your service.
Your name is Bianca?
It's a common name. Half the girls in the Merchants Guild are named Bianca. The other half are named Helga. I lucked out.
I take it you're a friend of Varric's.
Who isn't a friend of Varric's? You have met him before, right?
Any friend of Varric's is welcome here.
Be careful saying things like that. Some of his friends you don't want to meet. Oh, maybe you do. Who am I to judge?
Bianca's got a lead on where Corypheus got his red lyrium.
The site of Bartran's Folly, the tag Varric found, has been leaked. There's a Deep Roads entrance crawling with strange humans carting out red lyrium by the handful.
Who could have given away the Tig's location?
There were a few people who knew. Hirelings from the expedition, a couple of close friends.
How they found out isn't important. What matters is we know where they are now.
If it's such a secret, how do you know about it, Bianca?
I told her. Right after the expedition, I wrote and told Bianca what we found. I had artifacts that needed buyers, and she had more contacts that would pay for them. Plus, I owed her.
You can get there from Orlais. It's a long way to the Free Marches.
The deep roads are all connected. Or they used to be. Collapses and such. Some of them on purpose.
They really are roads. They spanned the Dwarven Empire, went to every corner of the continent, maybe further. In theory, you can get to any Tig using the deep roads, but in practice, there's a reason nobody uses them anymore.
How do we know they're not using multiple entrances to get to the Tig?
Navigating the deep roads isn't like the surface. There's no accurate maps of the whole system, and there are cave-ins, darkspawn, lava floods. If you find a route that gets where you're going, you don't deviate. Trying to find another way could be deadly.
We need to deal with this. As long as he has this source, Corypheus is that much more powerful.
I couldn't agree more.
I'll keep an eye on their operation. If you're interested in shutting it down, you've got my help. Try not to leave me waiting too long, Varric. I've got my own work to do, you know.
Right. That's not going to be trouble at all. Let me know when you want to head to the entrance.
Righteous. I really just want to touch the war table. Can I just work on the war table, please? Investigate amulet. Ay, ay, ay. It would have been interesting to see, for sure. Nightingale. We removed the dwarf from his home in Hightown. He had another manuscript in progress, which we burned, doused in acid, and threw into the sea. Apparently, he has a beef with Varric for setting up the Champion of Kirkwall with another runecrafter. He ranted about better heads and true dwarves, and then declared himself the greatest writer in Thedas, at which point Fletcher laughed so hard she started choking. That dwarf is a menace, and he claims he didn't send a note to Skyhold. Cooper. The tumult of the Mage Rebellion... Oh, well, that one's too short. Ooh, delicate negotiations. That's the one that we need to start right there. Oh, they can't even do it. I didn't even know that. Inquisitor, here's the thing. I don't even own a mask. Thus, when the Orlesian Empress invites me to engage in real peace talks, I get nervous. I don't know what Orlesians mean when they say that, but I hear it involves poison and dancing. Perhaps both at the same time. I'm told you know Empress Celine, and she owes you for that whole saved your life
Eagerly
business.
awaiting your presence. Some of us more than others.
I wasn't. I mean, I was. We have work to do.
Of course.
Considering you also helped save mine, perhaps the Inquisition could help make these talks happen, King Alistair Theron. There is a great deal of bad blood between these nations, but I will do my best to facilitate their talks. Do it, Josie. No. No. The death of good Sir Ruth. The disgraced Grey Warden Sir Ruth wishes to make good on your judgment, Inquisitor. She has asked for assistance in reaching one of the deeper recesses of the Deep Roads, so that her premature calling might serve a greater good. Laudable, but an expedition to the Deep Roads comes with considerable risk. An escort is simple. I could also arrange to note her exact path, should you wish to recover her body for any perceived honors. Many of our soldiers lost family to the Blight. I have no doubt many would volunteer to escort the Warden. My concern is that they would not stop at escorting. I suggest an invitation over an escort. Our Dwarven contacts would welcome the chance to bolster their forces with a Warden on the calling. Yeah, we'll do that with Josephine once she's free. Contact hero for Eldon. Sister Leliana... Oh, this is a long one. Sister Leliana, none of our agents have seen the hero Ferelden, but our normal work led us to scattered references of her passing through the area. It will take a serious commitment of resources, but we could attempt to contact her. Do it, Leliana.
Inquisitor.
Having it as another city hub like Orlais would have been awesome. At least you could get some more history about the hero Ferelden and see what happened. Yeah. Redcliffe, I feel like Redcliffe was a little underdeveloped too. Not being able to go to Redcliffe Castle before everything goes down in Hushed Whispers. Yeah, I agree. There was a lot of places like that could have been touchstones to reconnect with in Ferelden. And the free marches, for that matter. We don't really even spend any time in the free marches. Secure a source of water for outpost. Inquisitor. Our soldiers in the western approach located a suitable freshwater source. They faced some resistance from a particularly aggressive wyvern, but were able to subdue the threat and secure the area. I'm told that Lieutenant Core, in particular, should be commended for his quick response. As you can imagine, their success has raised morale among our followers in the western approach. Deal with the angry Varguests. Yes, right. Correct. With regards to Redcliffe, I agree. Little undercooked. They were so focused, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but they were so focused on making Inquisition its own thing that they didn't realize the value of what it could be if they just leaned into the fact that it's part of a franchise, right? You don't need to just make a blank slate every time. It's a series. That's one reason why I don't like the new Assassin's Creeds very much. Like, I loved the Ezio trilogy because it was the Ezio trilogy, not because it was Assassin's Creed per se. Because apparently Assassin's Creed is different than the Ezio trilogy. You know what I mean? Like, if we were just kind of follow the franchise from one all the way through, Assassin's Creed is completely different than it was in the Ezio trilogy. So I'm not even really sure I like Assassin's Creed all that much as I just liked the Ezio trilogy in Assassin's Creed 1. And I liked it because it continued. Like, it continued on the stories of the characters, it continued on the stories of the world. And I liked Dragon Age Origins and 2 in particular as a duology because 2 was its own thing. It set itself in a completely different setting than Ferelden. But it wasn't afraid to be connected to Origins. It wasn't afraid to lean into its connections with Origins. And Inquisition kind of just has this weird sort of neuroticism underlying its writing, where people are just afraid to connect it too much to Dragon Age Origins and 2, and that's much to Inquisition's detriment, in my opinion. Ambassador, please convey my thanks to the Inquisition for their assistance. The Chantry expedition into the laboratory was a complete success. However, to say we were appalled by most of our findings would be an understatement. We shall send you the full documentation of our discoveries when it is complete. In the meantime, we uncovered a few artifacts of note that may still be serviceable. Maker's blessings upon you, Sister Rosalie. How long does this take? Not very long. This one's not very long. What's this one? Unmask those across the sea. Ooh, this one's... Let me see if I can find... Is there any others? Invest Valgamord. No. Okay. So there's no others. There's no longer ones. Right. Yeah. Definitely. Hope that Veilguard understands the value of Dragon Age as a franchise and doesn't try to reinvent the wheel too much. The gameplay can be reinvented, but the lore and the writing definitely needs to lean into it. I say this all the time. I've said this all the time throughout my streams. You know, I've had whole freaking, 30-minute monologues about all the things that if I was, as a fan and understanding of the franchise, the things that I would have done differently, the recommendations I would have made to increase the connections between the games. There is definitely, in another timeline, a better Dragon Age Inquisition than what we got. That being said, and I always want to point this out, because I'm not a hater, right? I understand this is the Inquisition that we got, and I'm happy with it. It's not like Assassin's Creed in my mind. I'm not happy with Assassin's Creed. I don't like Assassin's Creed. I don't like Assassin's Creed anymore. I haven't really liked Assassin's Creed since Assassin's Creed 3. I never even played Black Flag, which I know, everybody talks about Black Flag as if it's the best, but I haven't really liked Assassin's Creed since the Ezio trilogy. I love the building and the world building that happened in the Ezio trilogy. Right. Gameplay can change. It's best to innovate. Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I have always said. So many people get hung up on the gameplay. So they're just kind of course, the Origins only crowd, right? Who have been hating the franchise since Dragon Age 2. With the way that the gameplay has changed. And I'm like, I don't really give a shit. I think as long as it has real time with pause, which the Veilguard doesn't have real time with pause, and I think that that's a crying freaking shame. There's this kind of Origins only crowd that's out there like, it's not an RPG, saying all their shit. And it's like, dude, let the gameplay innovate. Let the gameplay grow with the hardware and the technology. It's the story that we're here for. It's the story, it's the writing, it's the companions. We're not, if you want to be hyper fixated on gameplay, go play COD. You know what I mean? Like, go play games where the gameplay is the experience of the game. But I think the most important thing to BioWare games is the story. I think that's why Anthem wasn't so great. Was because Anthem is a game made by a story studio, a writing-based studio, but it's a loot shooter, which is entirely a game based on its mechanics. And personally, I really liked Anthem. I had a lot of fun with Anthem. I think that the only problem was that they didn't support it enough, and they were never going to support it enough. That's just kind of, you could see it from a mile away what was going to happen with Anthem. I liked Anthem for what it was, though, and I like Inquisition for what it is. I'm not afraid to recognize that what we got is subpar to what we could have gotten, but I'm still happy with what we got. Whereas with a franchise like Assassin's Creed, I'm not happy with what we're getting. I don't like Odyssey. Not a huge fan of Origins, even though I like it better than the others. But I definitely don't like Valhalla. The gameplay is cool, the gameplay is fun and engaging, but the story is just not there for me anymore. The world is just not there for me anymore. But depending on what they do with Veilguard, even in the flawed Inquisition that we got, I feel like the world is still here. The characters are still here. The world is still here. And the mechanics, to some degree, there is continuity in the mechanics, even as much as they have changed. And I like the Inquisition that we got. I just know that in a different timeline, if you do Monument Mythos, if we go to the Deanverse, if we go to the Deanverse, then there in the Deanverse there's a better Dragon Age Inquisition. I had our people remove the downward-pointing triangular symbols from our outpost. They have not made a reappearance, which means little. It's clear someone has an interest in the Inquisition, someone organized with ties to those across the sea. We've eliminated the Kunari as the most obvious suspects. Nonetheless, knowing who they're not does not tell us who they are. what they're doing or why. They're clever, we know that, and they have resources, but so do we, and they should learn that they are not to toy with the Inquisition, the Leliana. This is pointless. I won't commit our forces to hunting a shadowy cabal obsessed with little chalk drawings. I say we forget this and focus on Corypheus. If our investigation... No. Nar. Nar. Yeah, I mean, this is the mad dash. This is kind of what I was talking about yesterday. There's sort of a mad dash to the end. As soon as we do what Pride has wrought, and then we have to deal with Flemeth, and then it's the end of the game. Boom. 3 quests. Done, right? Once you've kind of done all the maps and everything, the game really kind of rushes to the end. Just trying to find a good long one. The tumult of the Mage Rebellion has been quelled. However, the city where it all began, Kirkwall, still suffers from the consequences of the fanatic Anders' actions. Kirkwall was once my home. It was the home of Grand Cleric Althena, who was a mother to me and so many others. I will not watch it languish. Starkhaven will soon embark on a mission of aid. We will send troops and workers to assist in the rebuilding and restoration of the city. I humbly entreat the Inquisition to help in this endeavor. Sebastian Vale. Yeah. So my plan is I want to do the Descent DLC right now. I don't know. I might wait until after the end of the game to do the Descent DLC. But I kind of wanted to do the Descent DLC right after Adamant, like as sort of the story in my head is like the Inquisition proving itself capable of dealing with Darkspawn, after exiling the Wardens, and then what Pride has wrought, and then the rest of the game pretty much. And then after that, doing the Jaws of Hakon DLC as the Inquisitor struggles to understand what role she plays in the aftermath of dealing with Corypheus. And then going from Jaws of Hakon into Trespasser. The city where it all began. Yeah, okay, I already read all that. Red Lyrium may present an obstacle to rebuilding the city. Our soldiers can assist in its removal. I will plead for assistance from our supporters around Thetis. Restoring Kirkwall, a symbol of all that happened, could be a significant act that cements our alliances. I kind of like Josephine's better. I don't know. Getting rid of... Ooh, too. This connects to what's going on with Meredith, too. If you've seen the show, Dragon Age Absolution, on Netflix, Meredith is reintroduced. I'm not going to tell you how, but spoilers, light spoilers, Meredith is reintroduced. And this could be really interesting that for Cullen to send Templars to go deal with the Red Lyrium removal, and I don't know, there's something interesting there. I'll just go ahead and send Cullen on this one. The Inquisition has received an urgent request for aid from Orzammar. A subterranean earthquake has collapsed one of their lyrium mines and endangered several others. Even worse, tunnel seals preventing Darkspawn from overrunning the Dwarven-occupied deep roads have crumbled, allowing hordes of the enemy to invade. Orzammar is a key provider of the Inquisition's lyrium supplies, and as such, its security is top priority. The earthquake opened a fissure in the Storm Coast Mountains, granting direct access from the surface to the threatened region underground. Constructing a mining lift at the fissure site will permit the Inquisition to transport forces directly to where the Darkspawn fighting is fiercest. Orzammar has the experts we need to build such a lift. At your discretion, we can hire a team. I know where to find people, and we need to move quickly to contain them. I'll dispatch my best people to the Sword Coast at once. We've got some pretty good engineers. Yeah. Yep. The only issue that I had is kind of the treatment of Fairbanks. I did not personally appreciate the treatment of Fairbanks. I like the fact that he was the leader, but I don't like the fact that they just kind of unceremoniously got rid of him in the way that they did. Beyond that, I thought the show was very good. The first real small or big screen feature of Dragon Age to really capture the world. Like, we've had web series, and we've had animes, and we've had all kinds of different things that have kind of just gone and been slipped under the rug because they just weren't that freaking good. Fun for fans, right? Fun for fans of the franchise, but as media, they weren't really great, and they none of them really like super delivered on the feeling of the Dragon Age franchise on any screen, whether small or big. I think that Netflix, having the rights to Dragon Age, they are wasting it. They are wasting it if they don't make a live action adaptation of the first two books. Or if they don't make live action adaptations of the books, period. The Stolen Throne, The Calling, Masked Empire. It really well to capture the world as whole seems cyberpunk edge runners. Yes, yeah, right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I want, look, Dragon Age is ripe. Like, everyone's rushing to try to get the next Game of Thrones, right? And the rush resulted in a lot of bad things being made. Rings of Power Season 1, Season 2's improving a lot, but Rings of Power Season 1 sucked. The Witcher Season 1 and 2 sucked, in my opinion. There's been all these rush... Wheel of Time on Amazon. Wheel of Time, not great. Everybody's rushing to get the next like high fantasy political intrigue thing out on the small screen. And Netflix has the adaptation rights for Dragon Age. I don't know if it's just... I don't know the specifics, right? So sometimes these contracts can get very minute, right? So maybe they don't have the rights to make David Gator's books. Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm wrong. But if they have the rights to make anything Dragon Age that they want, they are wasting everything if they don't make a live-action adaptation of the books. Dude. It's right. I literally did a college project where I convinced my professor. I went to college for writing for a period of time. I didn't graduate because just stuff came up. But I have 2 books. I wrote 2 books, and I wanted to get into script writing. And the script that I wrote for kind of a very beginner level writing class was a TV pilot script for the first opening scene of the Dragon Age book, The Stolen Throne. And I have legitimately considered sending it in to somewhere, anywhere, Netflix, BioWare, somebody. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I don't even care if I get involved in the show. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to see that. I want to see Dragon Age adapted for live action. And of course, the games would be complicated. The games would be complicated to do if they wanted to do them at all, which I would totally understand if they didn't want to do it. But I want to see those books adapted to live action. I want to see the world of Dragon Age adapted to live action. I want to see the world of Dragon Age adapted to live action with much less CGI than they probably would use. A lot more practical effects. I would love to see more practical effects leaned into, or maybe just using darkness to kind of hide the edges of the CGI. That would be so cool, dude. Literally, like, my mind just breaks every time I think about it, because I'm like, why? Why do we not have it yet? Does not make sense. Anyways. A construction team arrived in the Storm Coast, I keep saying that, Storm Coast Mountains, and set up a mining lift to transport Inquisition forces from the earthquake fissures opening down into the deep roads. A report sent by messenger bird. Inquisitor. The mining lift in the Storm Coast Mountains will be finished by the time you get there. Anyone going into the deep roads should dress accordingly. Don't skimp on the armor and bring the best weapons in Skyhold's arsenal. I also recommend packing plenty of dry rations. Most things down there will be looking to eat the Inquisition, not the other way around. Scout Harding. Anime adaptations over live actions. Some things you can't do. Live actions tend to flop. That is true, but it's not... That's... I disagree that it's not possible. I mean, we've definitely seen it. We've definitely seen it. You liked the first 2 seasons of The Witcher because... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I personally, I disagree that The Witcher season 2 stuck to the books. I hadn't read The Blood of Elves, so I can't speak to season 2, but I know it's different. But season 1 with The Last Wish, I read The Last Wish, and season 1 did not stick to The Last Wish. Like, categorically. Definitely disagree with you on that. I think season 1 kind of butchered The Last Wish, if we're being honest. And I didn't like the animated Witcher either. Personally, I didn't like the animated Witcher series that they made. I felt like it kind of misunderstood the world. I think the idea that monsters are being made fundamentally undermines the existence of the Witchers. The Witchers exist to hunt the monsters that they exist to respond to, and the fact that they kind of tried to make it out as if the Witchers were making monsters. I get what they were going for, but I think that it just was not accurate. Like, to me, was way off the mark. And of course, what was the other Witcher show that they made? The weird one that was like, God, I can't even remember. That I can't even remember what it was called. It was so forgettable. But that one was shit too. Yeah, I'm a hater. Like, I like The Witcher 3, and I like the books that I've read. And yeah, I just really did not feel like the shows were keeping to that, like, really at all. No, not at all. Not at all. Definitely a hater of all things Witcher. All things Netflix is Witcher. I should clarify. All things Netflix is Witcher. Not all things Witcher, but all things Netflix is Witcher. And then we're just kind of hanging out here. But I think a live... Oh, look at that. Oh, look at Varric. Poor guy. His tarot card sucks so hard. What are we doing? We're going down to the deep roads. We need to go with... Varric. Blackwall. and Solus. Right. That is true. That is true. And that's why the writer's strike happened. You know, the SAG-AFTRA writer's strike. The first one happened, and then the second one happened. The second one's a little bit more about AI than anything else. But the first SAG-AFTRA strike that happened was predominantly in response to that tendency of studios to drop writers as soon as their rates go up, and that is just a blatant abuse. Blatant abuse. Especially when they replace writers that obviously kind of get what we should be going for with things, and then they fire them. That's just abysmal. Oh, I love the soundtrack of the DLCs. The soundtrack of the Inquisition DLCs are just top notch.
The deep roads. No darkspawn trouble yet, but the earthquakes have been brutal.
I was told to meet a Shaper Volta.
She's waiting below. You won't see an Orzammar dwarf on the surface. They have rules about that.
So, right. I think that a live-action Dragon Age... I think that continuing to make... So, for instance, Dragon Age is one of those franchises that lends itself well to a lot of different mediums. The soundtracks, yeah. Right, and you're right about the contracts, too. But yeah, Dragon Age, it lends itself well to a lot of different mediums. Like, you've got comics, and you've got several different types of comics. Like, you've got more manga-style comics, you've got more Western-style comics, you've got novels, you've got short stories, you've got video games, you've got web series, and by and large, right, even if the quality has been low on some of these different properties, they've always been fun in the idea that they are fun as Dragon Age, right, for Dragon Age fans to engage with, even if they misunderstand things and blah, 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 right? I think that Dragon Age is ripe for live-action adaptation. 100%. Like, I really do have to... I agree with you that live-action is hard to do, but I think that Dragon Age could go the long haul. Like 10, 12 seasons of Dragon Age. If you did the books, right? If you did the books with all of the books, right? Masked Empire, Soul and Throne, Calling, Masked Empire. Oh, I can't remember the mage one with Wynn. But if you did all the books... but you don't even have to just stick to the books, right? And maybe this is kind of more for this next idea that I'm bringing up is kind of more for the anime side of things. I could totally see that, although I would like to see it more in live action as a sort of Game of Thrones style political drama. But I think it would be cool to see more, like maybe Hawke's dad. See the history of Malcolm Hawke and his family and how he dealt with the Grey Wardens. I think it would be cool to see the Second Blight, of course, a show about the Last Flight, because that's, of course, another book that they could adapt to live action. I think it would be cool to see the companions explored in live action. And I've kind of went on a whole freaking... Back in, like, I think it was probably back in, like, 2018, 2019, I actually wrote an outline for, I think, like, 7 seasons of a Dragon Age live-action show where I covered things like Meredith's becoming a Templar... It'll be all the boobies and foo-foos. I mean, you know, like, sex and romance has always been a part of Dragon Age. Like, it's been there since Origins. Sex and romance has been there since Origins. People fuck in Dragon Age. So you could totally have tasteful, non-gratuitous, use of sex and romance in a Dragon Age show, right? Let's be tasteful, right? But I'm not a big proponent of the general sexlessness of Hollywood. I don't like that. I would like to see more sex and romance in TV shows and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be gratuitous. It doesn't have to be just, you know, there for the horny fans. I can't remember what that quote was from like Dragon Age season 1 through 5, or not Dragon Age, Game of Thrones season 1 through 5, but they said we're here for the horny fans and stuff like that. Like, we don't have to be like that, but it can be tasteful, and it should be there in a Dragon Age show, 100%. But like I was saying, I would like to see shows that explore the companions. I would like to see shows that explore, I would like to see, well, we already have a show that explores Cassandra's becoming the right hand of the divine, but I would like to see a show that explores Leliana's adventures as the Nightingale. Maybe that's a cool idea for an anime, right? I would like to see shows exploring Blackwall and Vivian's history, and these don't have to be different shows. These can all be the same show, because a lot of their histories are happening at the same time. So like Meredith's, if you look in the timeline, I have done the homework. I have done the homework, Demonics. I have done it. I did the homework, right? Whenever I was doing this, right? Meredith has like this big, huge freaking adventure at the same time as Malcolm is doing his thing with the Grey Wardens. So you can have the drama of like Malcolm trying to escape the circle, while you see Meredith dealing with the problems of that apostate mages can cause and stuff like that. Like, if you look into the lore and you look into the timeline and you put things together, you know, where they match up to be together and stuff like that, like, there's so many avenues that you could take with a live action series or more anime series. Yeah, I mean, even that, right? Like, even sort of like a Love, Death, Robots kind of, you could even play around with Love, Death, Robots. They're making that PlayStation show right now. They're about to release that PlayStation show next year, where they're making a sort of, the studio behind Love, Death, and Robots is making all the different animation styles for Ghost of Tsushima and God of War and stuff like that. I'm so hyped for that show. I'm probably gonna stream that show. But yeah, you could even have a sort of Love, Death, Robots sort of Dragon Age series where you have an episode focusing on different companion characters and stuff like that. Or maybe the Love, Death, Robots episodes cover the comics more. Maybe that they operate as like adaptations of the comics, so that you have an audio visual adaptation of the comics, in as much as you're getting live action adaptations of the books. Right? And maybe that's how they play around with the adaptations of different media. But if Netflix doesn't do this, hey, Zigga, we're just kind of talking right now. We finished the Wardens and stuff. We're about to start the Descent DLC. But yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, Zigga. You should definitely go back and watch the archives. I'd love to see what you have to say in the comments. We're talking about shows and like live action adaptations of Dragon Age and stuff like that. But I think if Netflix doesn't do more than just one anime, then they're wasting it. They wasted their money, and they wasted their money because of their own freaking ignorance and their own lack of willingness to really engage with the fantasy of Dragon Age. I want to see more from Netflix than just one anime series, as good as it was. Seriously.
So you haven't seen any Darkspawn up here?
I sharpened my arrows just in case, but they never showed. I'm okay with that.
How many quakes have there been since you arrived?
At least 3 big rumblers, and the aftershocks are nothing to sneeze at. My feet miss solid ground.
Josephine's report mentioned several lyrium mines were damaged by the quakes.
You'll see what's left of this one on your way down. From what I hear, the other mines are barely holding together.
What if another earthquake seals us in?
that happens, I'll dig you out myself. The lift's ready for you.
Yeah, Trevor Morris went way too freaking hard on the soundtrack for this game. I don't know if you know the story of Trevor Morris, but it's really interesting.
And keep back from the edge. It's a long way down.
It would be a waste. It would be such a waste.
This reminds me of a story.
Shocking.
It's about an impossibly handsome dwarf and his friend who got crowned King of the Nugs.
A Nug King, really?
It's not as good as it sounds. Nugs mostly just shit on the floor and roll in it. Welcome to the Deep Roads.
Always wondered if I'd die down here.
You're not dead yet.
The day's just starting.
Dwarves cannot dream, yet they devise the most fascinating inventions.
Not all ideas come from the Fade.
True, but these designs must be inspired by something.
Acting like you don't know, Baldy boy. I did. I caught all the nugs. I became the Nug King. Well, Nug Queen more like, but I became the Nug Queen.
Navrik, your names will not be forgotten.
You must be Shaper Volta.
A trust Valar, Inquisitor. The Shaperate welcomes you to the Deep Roads.
What does a Shaper do exactly?
We chronicle the life and times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in Lyrium to ensure they never fade. We must be meticulous in every detail.
You look as though you're hiding from something.
As a citizen of Orzammar, even a
It's kind of gnarly.
Sky could cost me my position and render me castless.
Gotta love real dwarves.
How many dwarves have you lost?
More than we can count. The mining caste has suffered greatly. Our situation has worsened since we contacted Skyhold. The quakes collapsed this mine and shattered a seal, keeping the Darkspawn at bay. The Legion of the Dead hasn't been able to mend the broken seal, and we can't afford to lose any more lyrium.
I've read about the Legion of the Dead. Dwarves who fight Darkspawn in service to Orzammar. They commit their lives to the cause and celebrate their own funerals before entering the Deep Roads.
No matter their sins in life, the Legion die noble deaths.
What will happen if we lose more lyrium mines?
The surface needs lyrium for all sorts of magic. The Inquisition more than most, I understand. And Orzammar's economy relies on the lyrium trade. Without it, there will be chaos above and below.
Orzammar deals with Darkspawn all the time. Why request the Inquisition's help?
The Legion isn't prepared for this level of disaster. And the Grey Wardens haven't answered our calls for aid. Any threat to the flow of lyrium
they're not
requires
gonna.
immediate response. The Inquisition is the only force we can rely upon.
Evelyn just kind of giving her the side eye. like, oh, sorry about that. Yeah, they're probably not going to answer your calls for help.
There's no time to waste. Take me to the Legion.
Apologies for pushing you. I fear the damage that tremor caused. Follow me to the Legion camp.
Oh, we got level ups. Level up, level up. Solus. Ooh, Solus got 2. Frostmask, no. Winter stillness. By standing still, you enter into a meditative state that restores your mana at an enhanced rate and reduces cooldown times. Good. Do it. Yeah, I kind of just want the passives, honestly. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. They went pretty hard on the DLC for Inquisition. And yeah, like I said, Trevor Morris's soundtracks, just bangers. Every DLC, bangers. Your protected area increases, making it even harder for enemies to pass by. Line in the Sand no longer has a cost for cooldown, but it lasts until you cancel it. Oh, I don't trust him to really do that as the AI. And Varric. Pyrotechnic. Spike Trap creates an even larger detonation. Spike Trap leaves your enemies bleeding for several seconds. Leaves them bleeding.
Keep your eyes open. These roads are dangerous.
You have to be really diligent to get everything in these DLC, though, because you, like, most of the time you don't really get the chance to go back and explore areas that you had before. Oh yeah, here we go, here we go.
Stay clear of its reach!
Strike now!
Tanky as hell.
Now's the time to attack! Now!
Ooh.
While it's distracted!
Got me. The Pride Demons? Or are there actually 3 demons? I can't remember if there's another demon type.
Now's the time to attack!
Ooh. Yeah, they're not hard per se. The Pride Demons definitely have better damage outputs than the Ogres, but I have the Trial on that forces all enemies to be at the same level of the Inquisitor. So a lot of times enemies will end up being tanky. Oh, get him. Don't let him dunk in me.
While it's distracted!
Yeah, it's the Pride Demons with the lightning. Yeah, that's the Pride Demons. Yeah, they are pretty tough. Especially when, like, you're a little underleveled for them. That lightning can really get you.
It's not focused on us! Now's the time to attack!
Yeah, I'm Prix du Lion. We haven't actually finished that one yet. We need to go back and kill the dragon, so we've done everything else. I've been trying to level up a little bit before I take on the dragons. Haha, nice. That was a perfectly timed. Ooh. You know, I really hope that in Veilguard there's a little bit more of a functional block and parry and dodge and like perfect dodge system. I feel like that's something that's kind of been missing. That and a proper stealth system has been missing for a very long time.
If I lost you, I'd never make it out of the deep roads.
I'm sure you would find a way. If the ogre reached this point, the Legion must be overwhelmed. Let us hurry.
But yeah, a good stealth system and a good block and parry system, I think, is a good thing to update Dragon Age with.
They corrupt everything, even the air.
A great thing. The mist step, yeah. The fade step, as you can spec in, yeah. The fade step is a dope, and then Mind Blast, right? Like, I would really love to be able to like perfect parry somebody with Mind Blast. Like, I activate it and it stuns them or something like that, you know?
That's the broken seal ahead. It is worse than I thought.
Get those charges to the tunnels!
Yo, these things, bro, the gen locks, I don't know what happened between Dragon Age Origins and Inquisition, but the gen locks are it. What? Look at these things, bro. The gen locks are nasty now.
Someone prime the sonic fuses!
The gen locks are nasty now, dude. Big asses.
Hurry!
Can't set the charges with those bastards breathing down our necks!
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Clear out the dark spawn!
Yeah, you're right, they did change in Dragon Age 2. No, not that, this. Some of the best combat in the game is in Dragon Age Descent. Which was also true for the Golems of Angaroth DLC as well. Ooh. Oh, I need to take a regeneration roll. Unlimited power! Let's get this last genlock taken care of, and then we can Mind Blast. And we can focus this guy. Oh, there's two of them.
Got him on their heels. Keep it up. The seal's clear. Prime the charges.
Now, set the charges.
I'm doing it. Don't rush me. Do it. Do it.
Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Flight and one of the Legion's finest commanders.
Someone paid her to say that. Appreciate the help, Inquisitor. Collapsing that seal bought us time. Blighters had the run of these tunnels for days. Now they have a roadblock.
I get the impression you two have known each other a while.
Yeah. The Shaper had sent her to dig up some relics. Asked me to keep her out of trouble. That was 3 years ago.
You can quit any time.
Not when we still have things to fight about.
How many deep roads are there? How deep do they go?
They'll take you from one side of Thedas to the other, if you have a death wish.
The roads once connected dwarven cities that were hundreds of miles apart. Then came the Darkspawn. Ren and I have been exploring this region, reclaiming it, but the work is slow.
Mark the map, fight an army. Mark the map, fall in a hole. And so on.
The Legion of the Dead has the Inquisition's full support.
That's the best news I've heard since the Quakes began. Actually, the only good news.
Take cover!
Take cover where? There's a mountain falling on top of us. What exactly do you want me to take cover at? Where exactly do you want me to take cover at?
You heard that, yes? The rhythm in the tremors? It's clearer, stronger, more insistent.
I hear it. Doesn't prove a thing.
Thanks, Demonics. I really enjoyed
talking
to you.
There's an
I'm about to actually end my stream anyways. I stream from 10 to 2. So if you want to come back, 10 to 2 on weekdays. So Monday through Friday, I stream from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Time. So we're actually about to end up right now. Anyways, so thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out. It's been fun talking to you. Definitely look forward to the next time you get to join in with us.
How could an earthquake be caused deliberately?
We get plenty of natural tremors down here. These are different. She thinks she knows why.
I found an ancient text during an expedition with Ren last year. At the time, it was just a curiosity. But now... The text describes giant creatures, called Titans, living deep underground. They sing in the stone, shaping it. When these quakes began, I believe we heard that rhythm. I believe a Titan is causing all this destruction.
Mysterious songs often lure people to their deaths, or to an archdemon.
This rhythm isn't a song, exactly. It sounds like air flowing through lungs.
Air that can collapse a whole mine.
A mystery worth investigating.
I've never heard of Titans before. What else can you tell me about them?
The text I found predated the First Blight. Its pages had mostly rotted away. And there's no mention of the Titans in Orzamar's memories.
Which tells you something.
You speak of the stone like it's more than walls.
The stone is eternal. She was here before us, and remains after we die.
But the stone isn't your god.
We don't worship her, but we do respect and honor her.
The stone makes us strong, and we return that strength to her when we die. It's difficult to express in words.
All I heard was an earthquake. How is it you and Ren hear a rhythm?
Our people have a strong connection to the stone. We feel it in a way topsiders cannot.
Shapers have great stone sense, and Volta's better than most. She never gets lost.
Even if something strange is behind these earthquakes, it's not necessarily a Titan.
Aye. You'd think the memories would at least mention them.
I wouldn't rule out Scribble's theory. Hawk and I found some weird shit in the deep roads.
For all we know, that text you found was a bedtime story. We can't be sure until we find the source.
The rhythm I sense in the quakes is emanating from somewhere far below. The stone will lead us there.
And if it comes to a fight, that'll be our job. There's a lift at the side passage nearby. Ready when you are.
Solid. Alright, well we're gonna let it save, and then we're gonna hard save, And then we are going to be done for today. Thank you all for sticking around, if indeed you still have. Make sure to follow, turn on notifications to know when I'm going live. Go and check me out on social media at Instagram, Threads, and Reddit at Chronic_Kitch08. And if you want to see the archives of these videos, then you can check it out on YouTube at youtube.com/Chronic_Kitch. Thanks for sticking around, Zigga. You are always welcome. Or youtube.com/ChronicKitch. And I will catch you guys on the next one.